we're going. I like the aggression. Dude, let me drop the great car. You can go tell all those guys up there they can suck it.
What we're about to do is not a good idea.
All good. What is he doing? You gotta be kidding me.
Half the pack is flying apart.
It's so nice to see with the line.
Oh, pack of cars come piling in as well.
Come. Come in the light.
Hello, come back, caught him.
That was incredible.
Dude, nobody better. Nobody. Hell yeah, guys.
Hello and welcome to NWP on Danny B Talks. My name is Danny B, joined alongside my usual co-host, Eric Estep, over to what would be my right.
Right way, that you got it.
And then Jarrett over here on my left, but on screen right. We're back on Danny B Talks for the NASCAR Rugby Podcast, and we're joined by Grant from Auto Racing Analytics. It's going to be a fun show here today, guys. Lots of sports are happening right now. I'm rocking my Tennessee Vols jersey. I'm going to the game this weekend at Mississippi State. First time in the state of Mississippi. Going to be a good time. And then we got some crossover, some Tennessee Vols fans here on this channel. So if you're going to be there, watch out for Danny B in the crowd somewhere. And say hello if you see me.
My face with the Texans being 0-3. Sorry,
That's fine. Welcome to the club, buddy. That's just how we roll in the NFL over here.
That's
2-1.
What are we now? Our teams are combined 2-7 right now in the NFL.
Yeah, the three co-hosts.
And Eric, I've been asked by one of our viewers, or I guess listeners who usually listen to us afterwards, what's going on with the Astros right now?
Don't even get me started. They swept the Rangers and all looked good. All was right in the world. The silver boot back in Houston, where it's been for 9 consecutive seasons. And then they went and brought the Mariners in and just cratered. It's been rough. Been a rough few weeks, but hey, that 8 or 9 year playoff streak, all those ALCS and World Series streak had to come to an end eventually. It's not over yet, but there's a reason I'm not wearing my home team's jersey and hat tonight, like some of the other panelists here are.
What about you, Grant?
You're kind of wearing some Astros colors with that hat just a little bit.
I guess. Yeah.
How's your sports teams doing?
No football for me. I'm all in on the number 8 Xfinity team, and that's the only team I have any investment in right now because that's what we're working for at the moment.
Nice.
Awesome.
Well, let's head on in. What we got from New Hampshire this week, Danny? Surely nothing happened.
I mean, just it's Penske time. That's the thumbnail on this week's episode. It's happening at the right place, right time. Scheduled tweet, if you will. Penske Racing has come to life right when it matters the most. Joey Logano looked very strong at his home track, but in the end, it was Ryan Blaney who did earn the win, and Josh Berry, even though it doesn't matter anymore, decided that he wanted to get revenge from finishing last 3 races in a row and nearly take the win. He got second.
A great recovery from Josh Berry. And this was in a weird way, almost like his coming back party, he hasn't really shown winning speed since he won that race at Las Vegas in March or whenever that was. It's been a pretty dismal summer, even before the bad first round. Got spun by SVG. I thought that was SVG being aggressive. Yeah, Berry came down, but cut the guy a break. Didn't cut him a break. Berry fortunately was able to get away without much damage and come back. That was really impressive. But no, you're right, Danny. Team Penske. I wasn't expecting this level of domination from Logano, Blaney, Berry. Throw that whole trio together. Is the same tire aero package combo as we saw at Richmond. And yeah, Blaney, Logano flirted with the top 5, but shoot, Austin Dillon won that race. You look at some other shorter, flat ovals. I mean, Gateway, was anyone blown away by Team Penske's performance? I don't think so. Again, 4th, 5th, 6th place. It was Joe Gibbs racing car going to victory lane. I was shocked that seemingly like that, Penske flipped a switch and returned to their championship winning form.
Austin Cindric, their other teammate, he comes in 17th, but he was also kind of flirting around the top 10 a lot of race, wasn't he? Or am I mistaken?
No, He was pretty awful, actually.
I thought I saw him up in the top 10 some. I guess
He took 2 tires at one point, but was the only guy to like drop out of the top 10 immediately. Hi, Cosmo.
Okay,
The dog
okay.
just showed up. Everybody.
Yeah, the demise of Team Penske has been greatly exaggerated at these short flat ovals this year. I mean, Ryan Blaney, though, he was not at least it didn't seem like he was the best one throughout. As Logano really was early on. But that 12 car, just they get better as it goes. And that I would argue, and Grant, you might have the statistics to back me up on this, but just off the eye test, they have to be one of the 2 or 3, if not the fastest car out there almost any given week. The 12 team always seems like they're bringing speed the same way that the Gibbs cars will be a lot of the time, or that the Hendrick cars a lot of the times do. Like, do the stats back me up, or my eyes just need to be checked?
Well, what do we want to talk about first? If we're just talking about non-drafting oval speed, every racetrack, our fastest 3 cars this year are Denny Hamlin, then Kyle Larson, and they're kind of half a level above the field, and then a half a level below them. I'm gonna say throw them all together: Blaney, Byron, Bell. So those are kind of your fastest cars. Bell's not quite on the same level as Byron and Blaney, but they're pretty close. So he's got the 3rd or 4th fastest car in the field across the board.
That seems accurate to me by like the 4 or 5 that have been the best, and about how you can rank them through a lot of it. And I think it's just a lot of us didn't see it with Blaney until later in the year, because he finally got the DNF problem figured out. He's at like 7 on the year right now.
They've had a lot of fast cars, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news to the world, but Team Penske is back, and there is nothing that anybody can do about it. As far as I'm concerned, as the guy looking at the data, this championship's locked up. We're done. Take it to the house, cash the check. It's over. The 3 fastest cars at Loudon were the 21, the 12, and the 22. Pretty much no matter how you skin it, you can switch up that order depending on if you're looking at short run, long run. The one that I'm looking at is the 30 lap runs. I've got it being the 21, the 12, the 22. If you look at like overall race pace, it goes the way of the 22, then the 12, but they've got 2.5 tenths on the field, and they're not going to find that. So
how is the not short run, the long run speed with them? Like, is it 12 or 22 that's ahead on that? Because to me, it's 30 lap runs and further is what I'm really keying in on. I like, now maybe this year we go against the grain and we get like a 10 lap run to the finish at Phoenix if it's them up there. But I'm curious to which one of those 2 is ahead of the other.
Are you talking about Loudon specifically, or the year?
More of like Loudon and like short flat tracks too.
Yeah. Well, if we look at all short tracks for the year, on longer runs, the 12 is the fastest car on short tracks on longer runs. And then Logano is 7th for short track long runs. Larson is not far off of Blaney, but quite frankly, this includes the beginning of the season when Penske was, I don't know what they do in the beginning of the year. I don't know if half the staff is off camping or what, but they seem to show up around September every year. I don't know what happens.
Well, this should come as no surprise to you, Grant, but Joey Logano going into this next race looks like he will be as good as Penske might have been last week. He has an average finish in the next gen era at Kansas of 14.5, and that's only skewed down from a 34 finish outlier in the spring of 2024. The last few races he's done since 2023 is 6th, 5th, 34th, 14th, and 9th. Several races, 2023, he won stage 2 of the spring race. He finished 2nd in stage 1 of the 2024 fall race, and he finished 9th in stage 1 of the race earlier this season. Joey Logano might be right there when it counts in this one.
Well, go ahead, Jarrett.
I just find the funniest part of this whole conversation, we're talking about Team Penske, and none of us give a damn about what Austin Cindric is doing, because we're just like, he's gone.
Gateway was not good, and New Hampshire was worse, I would argue.
I hate it because I don't know what happened to Cindric these last few weeks, because I've been kind of a Cindric hater for a while. Not in the sense of I don't like the guy, but like the data's been that he doesn't perform the same as his teammates have. And this year has been a different story. Right now on short tracks for the full season, Cindric is the 6th fastest car in the field. Like, he's done a phenomenal job, but for whatever reason, the playoffs started and I don't know what happened.
He did well at Bristol. I'll give him that. Like Bristol 2 weeks ago, he was just above the cut line, needed a good night. They qualified well, ran well, car caught fire at the end. What are you going to do? But he did a good job in that race. But it's the 2 other races, Gateway and Loudon, where his teammates were top 5 and he was nowhere to be seen. To your point earlier, Grant, yeah, I think after watching New Hampshire, my pre-playoff pick of Ryan Blaney winning the title, I feel as good as ever. I do still question Logano. If he gets to Phoenix, I think it'll be him versus Blaney for the win. But I question Logano's ability still to get to Phoenix. Like even this round, I know Danny just rattled off some pretty good numbers, not earth shattering, but pretty good numbers for Logano at Kansas. His intermediate stats outside of that kind of wacky Texas win, his intermediate numbers, at least for the eye test, looking at finishes, stage points, etc., aren't amazing. You know, if he has a rough week or even just finishes 15th minimal stage points, that 24-point gap he has now is suddenly 8 or 10 points, and you could lose that at the Roval easily. Logano's a fine road racer, but no one expects him to run top 5 or contend with SVG. So I still think even in the next round, you got to remember Martinsville is a short flat oval, but it's another 1.5 miles. It's a super speedway. Logano will probably be in the mix at all of them, but things can go wrong. So Blaney has enough of a cushion now. It's had so much speed everywhere. I think he gets to Phoenix. I think he wins it all. Joey Logano, however, I'm still not ready to say he's a championship 4 favorite, even though he's been top 5 machine the last couple of weeks.
Eric, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm not 100% convinced that he makes it out of this round yet. I think if he gets to Phoenix, he's a big threat. I actually think he's a bigger threat in the next round because you got Talladega in there to screw things up. But right now, as it stands today, the algorithm has him sneaking through to the next round by a handful of points, nothing crazy, maybe 10.
I could believe that
after a great performance at Loudon. So
yeah,
it's still all to play for Logano. But if he gets there, then it's 50-50 between him and Blaney.
I agree with that. It's gonna be interesting. But
sorry,
yeah,
I've completely derailed this conversation. Did we want to talk about Loudon at all, or are we just gonna?
Yeah, because I feel like if we keep going any further, we're gonna advance straight into wanting to talk about the point standing, but we're not there yet. So let's do a little sidebar here real quick. And a team that needs to have a couple of sidebars this week is Joe Gibbs Racing because of what went down between Ty Gibbs and Denny Hamlin on the track.
Yeah, what was it?
I'm so entertained by this.
Early stage 2, they're racing for 11th, 12th, 13th. Gibbs, Hamlin, Bell. People aren't talking about this. I saw it on the broadcast. C. Bell slipped a couple times, got up into Ty Gibbs's door. They're racing 3 wide with Gregson, I think. Gibbs at one point, you could tell, got a little frustrated and kind of doored Bell in the straightaway. Okay, that's a message delivered. Gibbs continued to then just race really hard to hold off Hamlin, to hold off Bell until Hamlin had enough and just spun him out. Said over the radio, are they afraid to talk to him? What is he do? What the F is he doing? Then there was the added wrinkle this week, I thought, of Gibbs kind of retweeting, if you will, Harvick's podcast rant where he basically said, yeah, Denny, probably not a good idea to wreck him there. Is this the moment Hamlin's championship run gets derailed? Ty Gibbs with a good old-fashioned repost from, I don't know, was he at the White House when he reposted that? I saw he was in the Oval Office.
He did go to the White House.
Is that the nuclear red button or the Diet Coke one? We don't know, Denny. We don't know. But your house, we have a picture of it.
Just stay away from the Tylenol if you see it.
So, I mean, yeah, it's ugly because some people were saying apparently on Sirius XM, they made it sound like he was not at their Monday competition meeting, which I don't know if that's true or not. Even if he was in DC, let's say, I'm sure they would want him to at least Zoom or Skype in. Like, I don't see why he would be allowed to just like miss an important competition meeting. Maybe he is because his name's on the building. I don't know. But let's assume he and Denny Hamlin still don't see eye to eye. I mean, what happens? Do you think this goes anywhere this season, or is it going to be quashed quickly?
I don't think it happens this round, but I could
something's going to happen.
I could totally see Ty just getting back at Denny and holding him up, especially if it's like between Denny and C. Bell. Well, he's helping a teammate, right? Like, here's how I see it though with the whole New Hampshire deal. I think that both, to a degree, should have been smarter. But it's kind of, and again, we might not like the team orders. It's almost been a team orders kind of thing for any team that has one out and one, teammate in, to race a bit cleaner, cut brakes, do stuff like that. Denny talked a bit about that. So while I think that Denny could have been more patient, I think the deal is that Denny just didn't give a damn whether or not he got crashed, and just like, screw you, I'm going to dump you or you're going to run up the track. But Ty needs to have some situational awareness, and it's just been an issue for Ty for a while. Look at this is why I don't really feel as bad for him. And I said it at the time, I was like, you know what? The Brandon Jones deal back in the day in the Xfinity series, yeah, that's probably not the best thing to do, but you know what? Like, what comes around goes around. And we all said at the time that if he pulls this kind of shit in Cup, they're not going to let him go and stand with it. And you know what? You end up what comes around goes around, and he's the one that's on that end of it. I think he'll probably try and get back at him, and I think he'll probably face little to no repercussions for it because his name's on the building.
I'm gonna paint y'all a little scenario here. Think back a couple years ago when Austin Hill and Sheldon Creed were teammates over at RCR, and what went down at Martinsville. Let's say Denny Hamlin is in a weird situation where he's in the round of 8, but he's not won by the time we get to Martinsville, and he's kind of near the border, and he gets racing around Ty Gibbs, and something goes down. Well, we're not gonna be able to see them have as much of a public fight because neither one of them two are in any kind of danger to get out of that team. I have it on good authority that every single race for Joe Gibbs Racing's Cup team is sold out for next year. So they have full funding on all their cars. No one's trying to scoot anyone out of there. So
I just think we're going to learn. So as far as the incident, I would say Ty Gibbs was wrong to be racing his teammates so aggressively. And I think it was wrong that Hamlin's message wasn't relayed to Gibbs in that moment. I think Hamlin's point about the team being afraid to talk to him, I think he might have a point there for sure, especially a rookie crew chief like oh gosh, what's the name of the guy at Gibbs? Tyler Allen. He's not going to speak up and put the coach's grandson in his place in that moment. So I think that part is true. So I think Gibbs, better situational awareness for sure. I still don't think he deserved to get wrecked for that. I think Denny Hamlin, frankly, demonstrated the most immaturity, wrecking his teammate in that moment, knowing the media storm it's going to create, the tension at the shop it's going to generate when you're in the midst of a championship fight. I actually think Hamlin, in my opinion, made the bigger mistake in that moment. That being said, we're about to learn over these next 4 or 5 weeks just how in control Ty Gibbs is. How much clout does he truly have in that building? Because if he does what you guys are kind of theorizing here and actually race Denny even harder down the stretch or do something down the line to kind of rub him the wrong way, if he does that in the wake of all this, then oh my gosh, we know he has never, ever been punished for anything in his life. And that is a cultural issue within the walls of JGR. But my guess, my assumption is that Ty is going to give his teammates more space, more grace the rest of this year, at least, maybe not next year when they're back on equal footing, but this year, I think he will be a team player. I think he will learn from this. They will communicate that he needs to see the bigger picture. That's my guess. But if he does what you guys are suggesting, then, oh gosh, there is a deeper cultural issue at JGR.
Both are believable.
I'll put it like this. I don't think Ty Gibbs is in any danger of anyone within the building of Joe Gibbs Racing, but Toyota, I just have my wonders about what they might want to do because we don't know how dedicated they are to wanting to keep someone like a Tyler Reddick or Bubba Wallace within a chartered team. And if things continue to go south with the 2311 stuff, I don't know if they would ever want to make sure one of those guys has a seat.
I think if you sold out sponsorship well before the year, you're not getting booted out of any seat these days. You'd have to commit like some heinous crime to be kicked out of a seat.
Not the driver necessarily. So
yeah, but I think they also know what they're signing on for, and I think he has immunity at Joe Gibbs Racing. The part with Denny that I'm actually think is more egregious is almost taking out the 20 more than anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But at the same time, with Ty Gibbs, kind of reap what you sow. And people have said this stuff about Ty for a while. And I like that at least he didn't cook more stuff up with NBC. I know they like to pry for quotes, but at
Sure.
the same time, I also kind of look at that and I'm just like, and I think I said it in our group chat where it's like, you can't really have a Kyle Busch style quote when you perform like JJ Yaley. Like, you just need to take it on the chin and go. Like, look, if
Shots
he's
at
running,
JJ Yaley there are kind of unnecessary. What did he do to
Well,
deserve it? Come on, man.
I mean, JJ Yaley lost less races in a JGR car than Ty Gibbs has so far.
Yeah, I think he already had a win at this, or no?
No, he didn't win. He just got
didn't
booted.
win.
He got
just-
booted
yeah,
for not winning.
He didn't have this long a leash, I should say.
It wasn't Joe Yaley racing.
Now, while I'm admittedly more on Denny Hamlin's side and all of this stuff, I will say just a little defense of Ty Gibbs. If you don't want non-playoff drivers racing you hard, then NASCAR might as well go full gimmick and eliminate all cars that are not in the playoffs. So,
Yeah, I mean,
That was
he has
the
every
thing.
right to be out there too.
I honestly, there was only one moment where I thought, ooh, Gibbs, yeah, that was probably a little much, where he washed up in the middle of the corner and forced Hamlin to check up. That moment, I'm like, yeah, I'd be mad too. I'll be honest, I watched the full in-car. I didn't see anything else that was egregious. It was hard racing. I don't know.
What do you think, Grant?
I think that if it got to this point, then there's something else going on. That's my opinion. I think that Denny
Agreed.
Hamlin is a mature veteran driver, and despite the antics that he plays around in, he knows what he's doing. I think he's very thoughtful in all of his on-track actions, in the sense of there's nothing unintentional with that guy, I don't think, personally. And so I think that it probably goes deeper than just the hard racing in this race and just what was on camera in this one incident. What that is, I couldn't say. Is that something inside the walls of the building? Is that something with his race team and he's just frustrated with the team in general? Does that have to do with how he's been raced all year? Who's to say? Not really our business. I think that what this does show us as the fans, though, is clearly there's something not right. Like, for a veteran driver to get that frustrated, I think that I have a hard time believing that Denny's fully in the wrong, and that that's just an expression of what's going on there.
but I mean, to be fair, this is something we've always seen. I don't want to say friendly competition. We've seen competition, hard competition within JGR. We've seen it with Denny and Kyle Busch. We've seen it with MTJ to an extent. So this isn't unusual for there to be competition within the walls of JGR.
Yeah, they're usually pushing each other, frankly. They've had some really strong rosters over the years.
We didn't even have just one little back and forth. We had two. The thrilling, the enthralling rivalry between Austin Dillon, the imitator, and Cody Ware.
Wait, I haven't heard that nickname.
Playoff driver out to you.
Hold up, has that nickname caught on? Is that because it's the first I'm hearing of that?
It started it like my entire chat lit up with like, oh my god, it's because I was saying Fail Earnhardt and they were saying no, it's the imitator.
The imitator. That's diabolical. Oh,
That's pretty funny.
It is
crazy.
Man. Hey, hats off to my chat. They're pretty damn good at that.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that anywhere. Yeah, I don't know what Cody Ware was doing. I mean, I felt, he got dumped. It looked like guys trying to stay on the lead lap. He's slow. They wrecked him. Probably could have raced him with more respect. Fair enough. I get Cody Ware being angry, but with like 40 laps to go to try and hook a guy and miss and destroy your own car in the process. I mean, that looked like Cody Ware turned back the clock a few years, because Cody Ware has more or less minded his business and been serviceable the last year or two. That was turn back the clock, Cody Ware. Hate to see it.
Just thinking of Mike Joy, that one little
Cody
soundbite.
Ware.
It's Cody Ware.
Honestly, props to Cody for getting some TV time. I mean, he's fighting a car that's this season like 14 positions faster than him in Austin Dillon. So honestly, that's on Austin Dillon for getting in a fight with Cody Ware. Like, how did we even get in this situation?
Good
Fair
point.
enough.
But I am a little disappointed this year, because I genuinely thought we were going to see a bigger step forward this year for Cody Ware than we have. Because man, Justin Haley was so good in that 51
That's
car.
true.
And I really think there's some potential there. I just don't know what it's going to take to unlock it.
Hope and a prayer, better driver. I mean, I don't know. At this point, it's just
I wasn't going to go there, but Jared did. All right. I see how this.
it's just that kind of night.
Yeah, the gloves have come off, and we're only 20 minutes in. Goodness
It's
gracious!
not even after dark yet.
Speaking of gloves coming off, we mentioned this earlier, but 2311 Racing, they looked putrid Sunday afternoon. They could not afford that kind of a dud to open this
At
round.
least
And
they're going to
unfortunately,
one of
that's
their
what
best
happened.
tracks this weekend.
But they haven't been as good there as of
They
late.
haven't. They haven't.
It's not
been
their best
love-hate.
track anymore.
Yeah.
This is a Hendrick Motorsports track now.
I guess the key word is one of. It's historically been.
It
one of.
was. It was for a while there, and then I don't know what happened now, but they can't. It's there. It's inside the walls somewhere. Maybe when they moved buildings, they forgot the Kansas package. I don't know, but
I just don't know what the hell happened this week. Like,
Yeah.
I where's it at? I have wherever the notes I had for last week. Like part of my list, like one of the drivers I had as a possible win pick because he's been good at New Hampshire in the past and fast this year was Bubba Wallace. Thank God I didn't pick him because he was just completely out to lunch.
No, it makes no sense because, and I know the tracks are different, but this was the same aero and tire combo as Richmond, where they dominated. They let a crap ton of laps before wacky things took them out. So I was just as shocked as you that they were, if they run 8th, I'd be like, okay. But for them to run 15th to 20th, yikes.
everything in the auto racing analytics algorithm said that Bubba Wallace was going to have a great week this week. And I had him through, for those that saw the Twitter post, I had him through to the round of 8 this year by tying Ross Chastain on points and getting the tiebreaker from this Loudon race. I had him scoring 48 points and he came home with 11. So to update the algorithm, he is now minus 40. I mean, it's not, I just don't see any way it's going to happen.
To Danny's point, Bubba has won at Kansas. So is Reddick. So turn back the clocks. I was watching some of the spring race, and Bubba was running like 6th in the opening stage when they had a pit road penalty, put him a lap down. So I'm not saying he had a great car, but top 10 is maybe in the ballpark. And we'll look at the points, or maybe we can pull up the points. I don't know if we're ready for that yet.
We can do it right now.
Bubba and Reddick, I don't think I would not put them in must-win territory yet. I think they're in must earn a lot of points territory for sure. But yeah, 23 and 27 points out. It's not nothing.
With this competition, that's going to be because it's going to be difficult. Because if this is the first round, I could have been like, yeah, they can dig themselves out of this hole. But I mean, look who they're having to chase. The Chases, who are
the 2 Chases.
Chase Briscoe's pretty good. Chase Elliott's pretty damn good at Kansas and road courses still. Logano, Hamlin, Bell, like these aren't slouches. I mean, yeah, sure, they'll probably pass Austin Cindric this week, but like that's a given.
I think Elliott concerned us going into this round, but the fact that he's plus 14 now going into 2 tracks I feel better about gives me more hope for him.
That's a great point, actually. I don't think many people had them as a top 5 New Hampshire team, but they proved us wrong. So that is a good point.
Yeah. So, I mean, and everybody else that's plus 20 some up, like unless some major catastrophe happens, they should be fast enough to, at the very least, not really have too much of a gap bit into by Reddick and Bubba. I mean, I think it might actually be must-win territory. Like, I think Chastain can point us way.
Well, let's not forget Chastain won this race last year.
Oh yeah, I remember. It was awesome. I got to see the melon smash like from the front view this time instead of behind him like I did at Nashville.
This was that Chastain versus Busch finish until Busch, did what he does nowadays, wiped out.
Kyle choke.
I'm just saying, man. It's like, I think this is like, at best, one of them makes it through, and that's if one of them wins.
Of the ones on the outside, because of the fact that he won here last year, I gotta feel best about Ross Chastain because of where he is in the points battle and winning here last year. Who would he replace? That's a good question.
I still feel like, I mean, Bell or Hamlin, they're not safe, but let's say they make it through. I think Joey could still slip. These next 2 tracks are not in his wheelhouse. I had Elliott getting eliminated this round, so I still think there's a chance although I was expecting him to be closer to the cut line after New Hampshire, and that's not the case. I actually like, of the 4 below, I think I like Tyler Reddick the most, only because he's won at Kansas, I think twice. Someone correct me if I'm wrong there. I mean, maybe he only has 1 win. I think he's won there twice. He's such a good road course racer as well. So even though I don't think he beats SVG at the Roval, I could see him winning the stages because of how people flip him and then still getting a top 10, maybe even a top 5. He could get 50 plus points at the Roval. And so if Briscoe, Elliott, or Logano have a spin, an incident, I could see Reddick getting past one of them. But yeah, 23 points is still a significant gap.
Even though Chastain is a decent road course racer himself, he struggled to get the finishes he needs at the Roval. In 2023, he got 3rd in stage 1, 6th in stage 2, come in 10th. That's his best race. He's finished 28th, 37th, 23rd, 22nd, 24th in all of his other races at the Roval.
I personally, I'm with Eric largely on this. I have the algorithm has the same 4 are getting eliminated right now. I really like Reddick out of the bunch just because I think that he's the most likely to have a big day at Kansas and then also be able to have a big day at the Roval. And I think the Roval's a place where you're going to struggle to have a really big points day, like 50 something, but you could get close, and that might be enough to catch Logano, barring Kansas. My concerns I don't hate Chastain either, because not because of his intermediate track speed actually, but because of his road course speed. Just because SVG's been so good on the road courses, and I think it's elevated Trackhouse as a whole, where Ross is in the ballpark on most of them. My concern actually for Ross is Kansas, even though he won here a year ago. In the spring, that was an 18th place car, and this year they have the 13th best car in intermediate tracks. I don't know what Trackhouse has done to their intermediate program this year, but there have been times this year where Ross has had better speed on short tracks than intermediates, and that's pretty much unheard of for that one team, because Ross's skill set fits the intermediate tracks better. So I think for Ross, it's make or break at Kansas. For Reddick, we just got to see big stage days. So
this is slightly off topic, but I want to put you on the spot here, Grant.
Go for
we
it.
go over Shane Van Gisbergen's impressive New Hampshire run until stuff happened, until he got in a wreck. But like, did that surprise you at all? Like, what have you seen from SVG at the ovals this year? Because it felt like he was improving, and then I wasn't so sure. And then, oh my gosh, New Hampshire! What did they put in that car? I mean, what have you seen from SVG since we last had you on?
I've seen steady improvement. Genuinely, I have seen SVG do this year exactly what I wanted to see. Right now, with what I have in front of me, I have his optimal lap ranks from each race, specifically based on like an intermediate run length. And early in the year, there's a lot of 34ths, 35ths, 33rds. His last few races here, we've got some in the 30s, but when they came to Loudon, they brought the 11th fastest car.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That's a pretty big deal for SVG. All of our like passing and defending metrics, I mean, it's
still
bad.
not great.
It's really not good. It's getting better. The restarts, really not good either, but also getting better. But there has been steady improvement. If you'd given me 30 seconds even, Eric, I could have given you a number, but at the moment it is steady improvement, but very fast at Loudon, a borderline top 10 car depending on which metric you use.
Real quick, before we move on to like the ratings and stuff, the thing with Chastain that's interesting to me too is that his 3 top 5s this year are all on 1.5-mile tracks. Las Vegas 5th, Texas 2nd, 600 win.
So random, because like they're not.
And he only has 22 laps led in those races too. So it's not like he dominated these races.
I do wonder if there's been a directional shift at Trackhouse of how they prepare for races, because I've noticed this year that it feels like they've been worse on the average, but they've had more races where they've shown up with Chastain and sometimes 2 other cars in the mix. Like Circuit of the Americas, all those cars showed up really good. The 600, all the Trackhouse cars showed up really good. Like it seems like there's just random weeks that pop up where it's like, now we're all here, and I don't know what that is, but they've been very strangely spotty.
Yeah. All right, Danny. I feel like we've been dreading this. What are the ratings this week?
This got me in a bad mood, and I tweeted out a very sad admission that basically I've acknowledged that whatever it is, the playoffs, the car, football, just NASCAR cannot keep doing this right now in terms of the ratings. This one rated a 0.7, 1.29 million viewers. It's down 31% from a rain-delayed June New Hampshire race in 2024. It's down 28% from the comparable 2024 weekend, which would be the fall Kansas race. I don't see anything on here telling me what Xfinity ratings were, but guys, 1.29 million viewers is very dangerously close to what an average Xfinity race on CW has been this year. And that's telling me that we're basically only getting the core NASCAR audience that watches everything.
It's just not getting better. I mean, this is usually when it gets the lowest, but
not this low.
I mean, it's insane looking back at some of these other races and ratings in the past. I mean, this race had the same amount of viewers as the Wednesday Texas race back in 2020.
No, that's a classic, though, to be fair.
That was on NBC Sports Network, though, and it's death throes. I mean, it's just, it's insane to me, the fall off of USA Network. And don't get me wrong, like, I think it's probably because of partially, and I think we can have a broader topic here, but partially it's because USA Network and cable in general, it's a dying brand. It's just this deal. The further we get in the year, the more and more I realize for the Cup side is just really, really bad. We're gonna have 6 more years of this shit.
Yeah, well, Chad or Jared, someone remind me. There was some drama with USA over the summer, where like NBC was offloading it, but now that's like back under the NBC umbrella. Like people have pointed out, and they're right. I've seen little to no Cup Series advertisement since NBC took over, and I've watched a lot of football. I've watched Sunday Night Football. I watched Thursday Night Football when it was on NBC.
It's noticeable.
No NASCAR promotion, which makes me wonder, is it more of a USA Network problem from a promotional standpoint that NBC just has very little at stake when it comes to USA? I know that's just, we're starting here, but there's a lot of other problems in play, but we're starting here.
I feel like maybe, and it's been so long since I've really paid attention to WWE as well, but I feel like the USA only has one WWE show per week now. That's SmackDown on Friday nights. I think there'd be some advertisement, but the CW carrying NXT has advertised NASCAR better. They actually had Sam Mayer and Cole Custer on NXT this week.
Well, it is still being offloaded from the Comcast umbrella. I don't know what that's. It sounds like that would affect probably closer to like 26, 27 more than anything else.
Sure.
But I mean, you look at this deal in general, and don't get me wrong, there's plenty of other parts of this we'll probably talk about, but just the deal itself. I like the prime portion because you're hedging on the future a little bit, right? But Fox has been, we know what Fox is. It's a known commodity. It's just now it's like they just suck across the board. I don't know if you noticed, like it was trending how many football fans were talking about how bad the Fox coverage has been this year for football even.
What are they thinking of the Monday night ESPN coverage?
That's
our boy Artie Kempner.
Okay, we were talking about this. We were talking about this because the Vikings Bears game, and so we were like, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman keep getting pissed off because every time they want to talk about something or have a replay, they have to go to like a pre-set up sponsored segment. It's an Artie problem. It's just he might have his acolytes still working at Fox now for us, but like on the deal set, you have Fox is a known bad commodity at this point. Prime is top. I mean, you watch their football
Yeah.
coverage. I don't watch their WNBA coverage, but I'm assuming that's good. Like their NASCAR coverage is top tier. But then the TNT portion made no sense to begin with at all,
Yeah, that's
especially
true.
with them losing the NBA. Like there's
Yeah.
just there was no win in that portion. And then now, like NBC has taken a step back, whether it be in their promotion, whether it be in the quality of their broadcast. I've noticed a step back in general from NBC, on top of putting 22, if you count the prime races too. I mean, 27 races not on OTA TV. We've had
Mhm.
2 over-the-air broadcasts since March.
Yeah.
Talladega
No,
and Daytona.
I think, there are a number of reasons the ratings have been bad. I think you can blame the quality of racing for sure, but I think a lot of folks will disagree on where the quality of racing needs to go. Because I still think even the worst Cup race this year is better than most F1 races I've watched. That's just a personal preference. I can't speak for everybody there. You can blame the quality of racing and blame the playoffs. I think they all play a role for sure. And over time, I think hardcore fans getting less and less interested. I think the cable subscriptions continuing to hit new lows. USA Network sort of being this bastard child nobody wants to claim or promote at this moment is really rough for this sequence of races.
Seems to be
And
an
I
NBC thing of not claiming things.
I do think that the NFL has always been at this time of year a direct competitor of NASCAR. And NASCAR used to hold its own better. It's not now. Some of that is a NASCAR issue for sure. Again, see previous arguments. But I think some of it is the NFL has gotten bigger. I do think the NFL has somehow become even more culturally relevant. I mean, it's one of the few things on linear TV now that are still setting new viewership records. I read today, 2025, their best ratings since I think the early 90s, maybe. Like the NFL is not just king, it is God, leader, emperor at this moment. And so that's not exactly an excuse for NASCAR. You still want the NASCAR product to go up and you want it, rising tide to raise all ships, but it is just the truth of the matter. This time of year is even more difficult than ever before to carve out your own niche when the NFL is doing what it's doing.
And really, both college and professional football are both just getting insane records. I think the Tennessee Georgia game a couple weeks ago I saw had 12 million average viewers. It peaked at 15 million viewers. So both college and professional are setting records, or at least NFL. Sorry, UFL, you ain't getting close to that.
I will kind of push back a bit on it because the NFL has always been there, and I know it's getting bigger, but Formula One gets more viewers year over year when they go head to head with the NFL. Like their races that are on at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, they go up year over year, and they're going up against the NFL too, just like NASCAR is. So
That's
if people actually
American numbers you're talking about,
yeah. So if people actually want to, like, if NASCAR is something worth seeking out, people would seek it out, even if it's on USA Network, because these races, there's ABC ones, but there's also, I mean, this past week, F1 had almost the same viewership at 8:00 in the morning on ESPN as NASCAR. And that's not, and that's also counting in the pre-race stuff. So when you look at the actual pure race number, there's an argument that Formula One could have had more viewers this week than NASCAR, just purely off the racing side of it. Like, if you just look at like green flag to checkered flag. So like, I do want to push back on that too, because I think it's in part the racing and the playoffs, not for like the, this year, but just over time. NASCAR, I feel like NASCAR's a fan base has really kind of gotten to apathy at this point. There's so many that have went from they're pissed off to they're just like, whatever. Like the amount of people, and I know it's anecdotal, but the amount of people I know that I've talked to, that I've been in Discord with or other places, like they're like, wait a minute, there's a race on today? And it's like, and they're not joking. I don't see F1 having that problem. I don't see, other sports fan bases really having that issue right now, even if they're not necessarily going up. So I think it is all these factors, and it's like a snake eating its tail at this point. And now I think we have a diehard issue of like the diehards are just like, screw it. You're changing the channel so much. You're doing stuff we don't like. We already don't like the direction you've went with X, Y, and Z. I can go watch football now that's on. I can go watch, whatever you name, whatever sport. So I think that, yes, cable, I think, is probably the biggest factor in this, but I also think this the bad decisions by NASCAR, whether it be performance on the track as well as this deal. I think that's what's driving a majority of this. And the bad part is, like, I don't know, especially with how bad this deal is for the Cup Series. I don't see this being just the low point. We got 6 more years of this. Imagine how different the viewing climate's going to be in 2031.
I personally, I've tried to make this point on Twitter before, but as you know about making any point on Twitter, it usually doesn't go very well. So I don't know why I
Yeah.
do it.
Goes over a lot of people's heads.
But here we have a little bit longer discussion form, and they can't get rid of me. So I'm going to try and make the point that I've made before.
Get him
I
on a
think
call,
that-
guys. Go.
I think that there's no reason to complain about something that we don't have any control over unless we're going to offer a solution. So my thought on the rating situation is, okay, let's look at what's working for the only other racing series in the world that is exploding right now. That's Formula One. What is Formula One doing that NASCAR doesn't? Well, Formula One races are all under 2 hours, and NASCAR averages 3 hours and 40 minutes. I think that would be a start. I'm sure that a lot of people aren't loving the thought of shorter NASCAR races, but like I do think that that's probably part of the problem is, especially when your product isn't perfect, do people want to sit through 3.5 hours of that same product? Maybe not. If we look at Formula One, clearly the racing product isn't what they're watching for, because we can all look at the racing product and know it's worse than what NASCAR's. It's not very good. So clearly it's not that. What does F1 have that's attracting the fans? Well, it's the stars. How do you build any stars? Well, it's not like all the F1 drivers are extraordinarily interesting people. They're all just normal people like the rest of us.
They have
It's because
accents.
well, that would help, but we have Shane. So like
Oh,
it's okay. But think about the star drivers in NASCAR right now. There really aren't any, but the only way you build stars really is by winning. And then we learn who those stars are. Shane this year has become a star because he clicked off all these road course wins, and now we kind of know who Shane is. Larson became a worldwide star by winning a crap ton of dirt races, a crap ton of NASCAR races, and attempting the Indy 500, which it's a shame that he can't do anymore. Other than that, do we have any real stars? Probably not. Okay. Why don't we have any stars? Because we've chased parity to its complete end with this car and with the playoffs. I'm going to go there. I think the playoffs are killing your ratings. I really do. And Jarrett's going to love this. But the reason I think the playoffs are killing your ratings is because you have no time to build a storyline. When you're resetting the scoreboard every 3 weeks, there's not this buildup of like what's happening. There's no chatter among like the rest of the world because it's constantly changing. Like in Formula One, everybody in sports right now knows that Max is really freaking good. And a lot of people know that the two McLaren dudes are fighting for the championship. Even if they don't know who both of them are, they probably know who Lando is. They probably don't know who Oscar is. But more people than not that I talk to in the sports world know what's happening there. And it's because the storyline is consistent throughout the year. If they reset the scoreboard all the time, you probably lose track of it. So we got to be able to develop a storyline. Those are my thoughts. Take it from there.
That's a really, I've actually not heard that point made about the playoffs, but that's a solid point against the 3 race rounds, even like that's a point too. Maybe the original 10 race chase, less resets, or the Winston Cup era full season points. I hadn't heard that, but that's a great point.
I'm anti 10 race chase too, because it's another reset of the storylines through the beginning. Because quite honestly, if we're going to reset the points with 10 races to go, screw the first 26 races. Why are we even running them? Like, I'll just come when playoffs start,
Well, that's how I felt about the original chase that had no bonus points or anything
Absolutely.
like that. I think now with some of the bonus points, it has a bit more validity. But like broadly speaking, though, I think with 10 races at the end, that's enough time to build somewhat of a new momentum, a new narrative. But that is actually a really good point I never considered. The casual fan is not going to keep up with all of the ebbs and flows of a 3-week mini season. I hadn't considered that. That's actually a really fair point in favor of simplifying how we decide a champion right now. I agree with pretty much everything you said there. I think the shortening the races is probably the most controversial. I think
get rid of stage cautions.
That's a place.
Get rid of stage cautions. That is 25 minutes a race that you can.
So
cut
I
off.
knew that you were going to bring up the stage cautions. Can we
caution
compromise? We go down to 300 miles. We just shrink the race just a little bit, and we get rid of the stages. We just get a little both, and we'll get it right in about that 2.5 hour window. People love it.
Wasn't New Hampshire a 300-mile race?
It
Well,
was.
I'm just talking about intermediate tracks
But-
right
Okay,
now.
okay.
I mean, you
My-
probably
I
got to
guess
shorten New Hampshire even more, but New Hampshire wasn't a bad window. It's just a little bit longer than
My
that.
pushback with that though is that NFL games, they're 3 hours. College football games can be 4 to 5 hours. Like I don't think it's just it's not exactly I think as much the run time. It's just keeping people invested in it. I think that's like with baseball, speeding things up and really not changing the game too awful much with that. Although I'm not really a fan of like the extra innings ghost runner kind of thing.
No,
But
no.
Other than that, like speeding it up didn't really change the game. I think awarding the stage points, doing that, but then not having the cautions. I get that people didn't really like it at the road courses. I'm pretty sure that Watkins Glen race that they didn't have stage cautions with was 2 hours long. Like, I feel like it's we're kind of overthinking it. You know, like
I'm with you.
Cut 20 minutes off of the races just by getting unnecessary TV cautions out.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I think get rid of the stage cautions is the best place to start. I think for example, there used to be 2 500-mile Texas races. Nobody misses those, right? We all agree. Like, so I'm just saying there are very few races out there that you could cut from, like even like Pocono, you could probably cut from 400 to 350. I know it doesn't roll off the tongue as nicely. The whatever it is, the Busch Light 350 isn't as cool as the nice even round 400. But yeah, but I could see
real fast. You had to cut down to 400 miles just because of how crazy it can get.
Yeah, so I'm okay with shortening the actual distance a tiny bit, but I think the biggest time shave will be the stage cautions at a lot of places just kills the pacing, especially like we had it happen again this week where I think they had like a 2-lap shootout between cautions, and it's like that's just unnecessary at that point.
Was it 2 or what was it this week?
Maybe it was a 1 lap.
Last week that was 1. Yeah, one of them was like a 1-lap shootout.
It might have been a 1-lap shootout actually.
I've honestly thought about doing this where I just record myself during the stage caution and see how much stuff around the house I can get done before they go back racing. I probably could get like the dishes done and like vacuum between both
taxes
stages.
That'd be a good video, actually.
Pay my bills, or just clean the fish tank, whatever it has to be.
Yeah.
You get
those are good points, Grant.
You get a little comedic with it and be like, I changed an engine.
Grant, I'm glad you're able to use us as your Twitter thread this week and share that because that was
It's
good.
so great. Now I'm watching the comments just explode, and I'm like, they actually had to read the whole monologue this time.
Someone just said F you and shortened races. So it's not everyone's loving it, but welcome to the internet.
I would like to know, tell me in the comments why you don't want the shortened races, because I've seen this take before. I understand when I'm sitting in the stands, I don't want shortened races, but actually watching them on TV, I'm like, I wouldn't mind if this was time-wise shorter. Not that I don't enjoy the product, but just that like it'd be nice to not have it be 3 hours and 45 minutes of your Sunday. But let me know what you don't actually like about shortening the races, because I'm curious. Give a real answer, not just you don't like it.
My most controversial take is that, and I know we can't do it because TV contracts have them agreed to 36 to 38 races a year, but I would be okay personally if we had a 28 race season where every track only gets one date and that's it. And it starts the time it usually does, but gets done around this time of year. That I would be okay with that personally. From the content creation side of things, it does mean that we don't get to come to you guys as much through NWP for the year. So that's a sad thing. But I don't know. I feel like for a lot of people this time of year, whatever it might be, life just happens more this time of year. It gets harder for people to want to dedicate their Saturdays and Sundays watching the races.
Well, commitment. It's a marathon. I mean, this NASCAR, and I think that's probably why they're pushing back on what you're saying about shorter races, Grant. And it's in general with the races, it's in general with the season. It is a marathon. And the crazy part is, and it seems like people have already forgotten this, like it used to go into the year 3 weeks longer. Like I remember going to Homestead with y'all and going home, going to see a concert with a friend, and then it was like Thanksgiving that week or like the next week. Like it was nuts. I'm cool with compacting the schedule. I'd be cool if, maybe we have a double header like the Pocono one. I thought that was a cool deal. Give those fans a little more racing. They sell that place out with 100,000+ every year. Richmond, for instance, people want more short tracks. What if we do a Monday night race at Richmond during the Fox portion and compact that part? You get the same racing, but then because you're probably going to have to move the Daytona 500 when the Super Bowl moves to its weekend. Those are solutions you could do that you keep the amount of racing that you had. You just don't time-wise have it in as much. So like they've already compacted it enough. It ends. I mean, I'm pretty sure this year it ends like the day after my birthday. And usually back in the day, that was like 4 races remaining. It was nuts. The more I think about it, like is how crazy it used to be. I mean, yeah, we're probably going to talk more about this when we talk about the format.
Real quick before we move on this, my wife actually brought up a good point. If you shorten the Cup races, do you keep truck and Xfinity races the same length? It seems as the weekend goes on, the races get longer as you go up in series. You need to have more endurance, and that's a good point.
I think I will just add something that I didn't mention in that monologue that the chat clearly needed mentioned. We're not shortening all the races, obviously. The 500, the 600, the Southern 500. Those are sacred. We're not touching them.
I agree.
But
you're saying we don't need a 500-mile race at Kansas,
Pocono and Texas. Yeah, I mean, it's just probably not necessary. But I don't mind Jarrett's thought of what would happen if we remove the stages. I really do wonder what a 400-mile Kansas race would time out to without stages. That would be interesting.
And just some ideas here. If we were compacting the way the year plays out a little bit, what if, I'm just throwing out a hypothetical here, what if NASCAR decided, hey, we're going to have a street course race in March in Washington, D.C., and hey, all that Wednesday before, we're actually going to race a night race at Richmond, because it's not far away. We'll make it all work out. So we could find ways to do some weird stuff like that. If we're going to go to Bristol, well, hey, we're going to have Martinsville on Tuesday the night before or the week before, whatever.
I mean, it'd be interesting, the logistics of it. That's for sure.
What's next?
So we had the truck race, right? What time is it?
Heim time.
Okay, moving on. Kidding.
He ties Greg Biffle's single season record.
He's so good.
He's just really good, really solid. I mean, but the points reset for trucks as well. Chandler Smith finished second, almost won, but wasn't good enough to make it. Garcia also out. So you see the reset there. Time and Lane Riggs' world. I think we talked about this last week, Jarrett. I think if they both get to Phoenix, Riggs versus Heim will be fascinating. I still think there's a chance Riggs misses because of some sort of wreck or incident or fluke.
We'll get to the
point. But if they both make it, it'll be interesting. Although I will say it was I think maybe promising for Heim's prospects that he largely outran Riggs at New Hampshire, which is Phoenix-esque. So maybe Riggs' short track dominance has been slightly overstated.
But as of right now, Corey Heim is nicely ahead of everybody.
I think it worked out well for Heim that Chandler pretty much shot himself in the foot in round one. I think that was a big weight off of the 11's championship hopes. But Corey Heim has been absolutely ridiculous this year. I know we've been over it, but I wanted to just give the stats just because on non-drafting ovals, this man averages his average median lap rank. So his average speed rating for like the whole race is a 1.7. He averages faster than being second. He has the fastest car in almost all the oval races. Like I just need to count them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm counting 14 races in which Heim has had the fastest car. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But yeah, he's still got to go perform in the clutch at Phoenix, evidently, to prove he's a champion, I guess. But man, what a run for the guy. It's absolutely ridiculous. A 1.1 on intermediate tracks. He's had the fastest car in every intermediate track race but one. That's crazy. I don't even know what else to say at this point.
This will be the guy that if he doesn't win a championship this season, I might actually snap a little bit. There's been a lot that have deserved it but didn't, but I might snap if this one doesn't.
This is
Yeah.
wild. I mean, it's impressive.
So he needs one more win to beat Biffle's record. I think we all probably would say he does it. Raise your hand if you don't think he beats Biffle's record. Okay, that's what I thought. That's about chat. Put your hands at chat. I see you trolling. Don't even pretend. He's gonna get it. He's got like what, 4 more races, 5 more races, something like that. 4 more races, I think. Yeah, he'll get it.
So what about the poll?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
skipped the
'cause,
poll.
We
Got a
skipped
lot of
it
work.
Trucks
because
took
it was
2
all
minutes.
showing 0% there for a second.
Well, what do we got, Danny?
10,000 people voted on the poll, the famous iceberg poll. 17% of people said this was a great race. 63% of people said it was a good race, giving this race an 80% net positivity. So those who did choose to watch this race generally enjoyed it. 17% of people
enjoyed it.
said it was an average race, and 3% of people said it was a negative race.
That was the highest rated New Hampshire race in the polls history.
I believe that. I had no issues with it. Thought it was eventful. The new tire wore out. Like there's passing. Like tires mattered. You could take 2, get track position, and hold it for a little bit, but not forever. I thought it was a really solid race.
That's what pisses me off about the ratings being so low the last 2 weeks. We're getting good racing, and y'all are missing it.
Yeah,
damn it.
Yep. It's what did we talk about last week, Jarrett? 2024 Spring Kansas, one of the greatest races ever, right? Mm-hmm. Every Kansas race since then has gotten less viewership. It's like, don't you remember how great it was? Come on, y'all.
Well, Spencer had the first comment. Was it positive, negative, or meme?
Positive.
It's tough to tell, fam, but I'm going to go meme this time.
All right. Josh Berry, last place finishes the previous 3 races. Also, Josh Berry randomly gets and loses chance to win the very next race, which Brock Beard put out. Is that was actually the best finish someone's ever had after 3 straight last place finishes in the history of NASCAR.
I mean, you can only do one position better, so I guess that doesn't shock me. Good for Josh.
The previous was like 24th. Like this is like actually really damn good. Matt says someone forgot to tell Josh Berry it's hard to pass. He went from last to damn near first. Noah says Ware versus Dylan, battle of the Nepo babies. Michael says surprisingly good speed out of SVG before his accident in stage 2. He's getting there. Marshall says Ryan Blaney should never shave again. His beard added horsepower. He's like the Samson of NASCAR. NASCAR Sam says, imagine if Penske wins the championship again.
They will.
I think Ryan Blaney at least has a very, very good shot.
I saw our buddy Ellie Productions in the chat. You got your clip for the next playoff video you do like you had with Danny last year. That was glorious.
I'm low-key hoping that Penske keeps this up because there's a small hope of me that's hoping that maybe if Austin Cindric is they say goodbye, maybe Alex Bowman finds a new home there.
Bowman to the 2. What a twist. Instead of so-and-so to the 48, it's Bowman to the 2. Chat. #, Bowman to the 2.
Imagine, call an ambulance, but not for me.
Imagine Bowman goes to the 2, and all of a sudden he just like goes full Logano 2015 on him over there.
Oh my gosh. Crazy.
James had the gutter comment here. James said, WTF, I love the playoffs now. That was the lowest voted comment. Shocker, I know.
What was the? I don't understand the. Okay.
Yeah, but that was the poll.
You're not allowed to be in favor of it.
Interesting.
Maybe he's a Blaney fan. I don't know.
I guess maybe you're a Blaney fan, but if you're a Blaney fan, you probably already love the playoffs.
I don't know, man.
So that's why I don't know. I'm confused. I'm confluzzled there. All right. Well, that was the poll.
Yeah, that was the poll. What we got, Danny?
You got me fighting a sneeze right now. Is what you got?
Do I need to mute you?
I was trying to, but I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. Time for a first super chat stage break.
The tension is killing me. All right. Go for it, Danny. I'll time you. Go for a few minutes. You got this.
The sneeze might still happen. We'll see. Bailey Riker, appreciate the $4.99 from you. Would you believe me if I told you Kyle Larson's last top 5 was 2 months ago at Indy and his last win was 5 months ago in May at Kansas. Both are true.
The Kyle Larson slander needs to stop. But I can't ramble again. I gotta stop. But the Larson slander has gotta come to an end. It's crazy.
Irvin Alvarado, appreciate it, $9.99 from you. This TV deal is already imploding. I was thinking about Iceberg's video. If I rewrote the contract, CW with the app gets the first 12 cup races, 12 prime all summer races. The final 12 cup races would be on YouTube. Urban Alvarado again of $4.99. Why YouTube? We've seen how the NFL is already successful with one game plus a NASCAR YouTuber reaction like Tom Grossi did of his stream. That is a win. They had a total of at least 3. I know Tom Grossi had one. I Show Speed had one. I forget who the other one was.
I Show Meat.
So we're gonna get the Eric Estep NASCAR race watch along one day on YouTube.
If I can get the rights, it's going down.
The Sloth Nerd, appreciate the $5 from you. Sorry, not sorry, Eric, for your Astros. Mariners rule. Hashtag I stand for Garage 66, MBM, or Carl Long's team.
There's a lot of turns in that one.
Alex Luft, appreciate you too for getting rid of his comment, and I got to scroll to the top. Alex Luff appreciated $10 from you. Since I came close to seeing my favorite driver, Joey Logano, win in person, I got to ask if Eric and Danny ever seen their favorites win in person. I know Jarrett has. Eric has seen Matt Kenseth win a race, not a NASCAR race. I have never seen one of my favorites win. Both Jarrett and Eric have seen Alex Bowman win.
Oh yeah, I have.
Have I seen him win multiple times?
I saw him win Auto Club in the cursed red and black 88.
I saw Martinsville.
I think you saw another one. Well, you saw Chicagoland, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. God, that was a long time ago.
Roman numeral 3, appreciate the $2 from you. Ty Gibbs was hated first among all and still is.
I have seen a lot of quoting. Yeah, I know what the reference is. Though I have seen a lot of like, I feel like if you replace Ty Gibbs in the whole Hamlin Gibbs scenario with anyone else, Hamlin would be getting a lot more hate. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. I just realized I'm reading on his back. They got rid of all the ads. These are normal names again. Thank you, YouTube.
Oh, heck yeah.
Alex Luff, appreciate the $10 from you. Question to everyone. What made you fans of your favorite driver? I was a Tony Stewart fan, admittedly, because he drove an orange car, and that was my favorite color. But as time went on, I related to him. I know we're probably close on time, so we'll probably just end on this one from Alex. Well, I'll go first. Alex, I became a fan of Alex Bowman because I was a Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan, and when it was time for him to become towards the end of his NASCAR driving career, well, 2016 was a weird season. Got to see Bowman drive the 88 and became a fan of how he did. And then when it was announced that he was going to be taking over the 88 in 2018, I just continued to pull for that car and that driver. And I've grown to, support him ever since.
Me and Matt Kenseth's not that interesting. I thought his black and yellow car looked really cool. My mom had a close family friend who was distantly related to Matt Kenseth. I remember going to her house, and her oldest son had a ton of Kenseth stuff all over his room. I thought, I was like, that's the guy from NASCAR Thunder 04 with the cool car I drive. So I started watching him closely from there and liked his personality.
My whole family is a family Earnhardt fans. And fun fact, because my grandpa rooted for Dale Earnhardt like way back in the day, like way back, like rookie year Earnhardt. But before that, he was a Marty Robbins fan because Marty Robbins used to race. He was a former random driver of the week. And so like I was like, okay, I'll root for him. I like the Bud car. I thought it looked pretty cool. And then the more and more that I got to learn about him, I liked him as a driver. I thought he was cool. And it just sort of went from there. I actually have a magazine somewhere my dad got for me. And it's like Dale Earnhardt Jr., Fame, Fortune, and Fast Women or something. And that's like the cover. And I'm just like, okay. And it's literally just like pictures of him with celebrities, pictures of him at the racetrack, pictures of him with hot chicks. And my dad gave this to me when I was like 7. So thanks, Dad, if you're watching.
I started
Uh,
rooting for Dale Jr. because his car was green. He had the Amp Energy car
Oh
when I
yeah.
started watching, and I grew up on a farm with all green John Deere tractors, so we had to root for the green car.
I like it.
I'll say this: I did become a fan of Dell Jr. I switched as a kid. I really liked the Flames of Jeff Gordon and thought that was cool. Thought that's who I wanted to root for. But I changed as I got older because I really liked the green Amp Mountain Dew and the blue National Guard car in '08 when Junior came over. I'd never really wanted to root for him in a Budweiser car because I'm like, I'm a kid. Why do I want to root for a beer? What is that? So when he then took a Mountain Dew, I like Mountain Dew. Yeah, I'll root for him as more, that teenage coming out of kid to teenage year. That's how you make your decisions back then.
That's a good super chat.
But I will say we'll actually end on this next one real quick. Awesome Blancet, appreciate 999. Jarrett, Eric, both of your videos today about the ratings disaster really resonated with me. Jarrett, your point about apathy struck a chord with me. I no longer watch most races. I use you guys to keep me up.
Well, we'll do our best. It was really fun watching Justin Haley get his first career win on Sunday. You missed out. I'm sorry. It's like whatever. I always appreciate when people say, "Yeah, I watch your videos, but I don't watch the race." I'm like, damn, that's a lot of pressure. What if I get something woefully wrong?
NASCAR YouTube. We watch the races, so you don't have to.
Ching.
Oh, that really struck well.
But yeah, that does it for the first super chat stage break. Appreciate everyone for your support. You guys know you never have to donate. We never ask you to donate, but the fact that you guys still do each week, we greatly appreciate that. Always happy to hear from you guys every week and have a little bit more of a personalized conversation through these segments. But guys, on that note, it's been a little bit of weather, a few storms, and maybe more in the middle of the night. Thought we were going to have some this evening, but it seems to have held off. But now, Jared, I seem to be getting an alert on my phone that there's lightning in the area for the lightning round.
Yeah, it might be a quick one, though. Of course, we have the NWP channel at NWP Clips, where we re-upload all these episodes in case you miss them. You can always check there. The Cars Tour has created a new Northwest division for 2026, racing primarily in Washington State, as well as Colorado and Idaho. Randall Burnett will be the crew chief for Connor Zilich in 2026, while Rodney Childers will be the crew chief for JR Motorsports #1 Xfinity team in 2026, with Carson Quapple and Connor Zilich splitting the ride. And, it's a quick lightning round, but for next week, of course, we'll be on Eric's channel. We have a special guest coming on next week. Jeff Faviano joins us Wednesday night, October 1st. We talk about NASCAR 25 and his time playing the game, which was, ironically enough, like an hour before me. Always fun having Jeff on. Going to be a blast. So definitely be sure to mark that down on your calendars. But guys, that was the lightning round.
Yeah, the Rodney Childers to Junior Motorsports news today kind of snuck up on everyone. And I thought the interesting wrinkle in that was that Carson Quapple part-time?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Because
That
there was
surprises me.
some links and rumors that Penske, and this might still happen, Penske might be looking to get back involved in the O'Reilly series, and he was a name that's being linked to that idea. So the fact that he's part-time makes me wonder, is that still on the table, but he has to be part-time with both teams?
There's no way he's going to be part-time with a Ford and a Chevy. They'd never let him
Yeah.
in both sims, I don't think. So
That's the hard part. I don't know. I think I don't know about the rumors of him and Penske, development deal long term. I don't know if that could still be true down the line, but I'm just surprised that for next year they're taking him out of the seat for some X number of races. May just be a few. Maybe it's just the road courses. I don't know. But
you know who else that takes
surprising.
out, though? Takes out Rodney Childers being an option for Kyle Busch.
Yeah, that's the other wrinkle of that. Randall Burnett to Zilich. I actually think that will be a fine pairing because I think Burnett is a solid crew chief. I don't think the issues at the 8 are all on Burnett or all on Busch for that matter. But I do think they needed to swap things up. Who do you think goes to Kyle? I threw out a few names, including Childers. I love the idea. This is my, if I'm a Kyle Busch fan, this is my, swing for the fences home run pick. If they can somehow get, and I don't know his relationship with Kyle Busch, maybe they hate each other. Who knows? Busch probably burnt some bridges back in the day. Who knows? Scott Zipadelli, Corey Himes crew chief. We saw what Charles Denike has done at 23XI this year, going straight from trucks into Cup, shook things up. Bubba's having his best season ever, before New Hampshire at least. I would love to see what Scott Zipadelli, all that truck success, what could he do with Kyle Busch and RCR? Could they drag RCR out of the depths? Probably not, but you got Busch over there for one more year. Swing for the fences. That would be a hire that I'd be like, oh, I'm excited for that one.
You took mine, because mine initially was Rodney Childers and then Scott Zipadelli. So
yeah. I don't know if he'd even take that job. Like, I'm shoot, if you're like have a good thing going where you're at and RCR says, hey, can you save Kyle Busch for a year? Would you even take that deal? Maybe not, honestly.
Probably pays better.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who I'd go after. He's not in the sport right now, but he's really good at it. Give him whatever amount of money he kind of needs to come back and do it for a short amount of time. Who do you think I'm going with?
Cole Pern.
Cole Pern.
Cole Pern, baby. Bring back Cole.
I like it.
I mean, I would be excited to see that.
Give the man his blank check and see what he can do.
He's not coming back. It's over.
I don't see
It'd be
Cole
cool,
Pern.
though.
I don't see Cole Pern and like Richard Childress Racing like being a thing. I don't know. That
But
just
I
like
also
seems
don't
like a
think Kyle
clash.
Busch being around much longer. So
Yeah. Anyway, interesting.
Anyway, we do have headlines this
Oh.
week. Or at least something to talk about. So what happened this week, guys? I have no connection whatsoever to any of these topics that have been announced this week.
We want to start with the video game.
there's been some clips. Some people have gotten their hands on NASCAR 25 a little early. And Jarrett, you've not got a physical copy in your possession, but you've got to play the game.
Yeah.
There won't be any physical copies.
No, there
okay.
actually won't be.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I'm glad I got to finally show it. Like, because there's so many people that are like, oh my God, this and oh my God, that. And I'm like, just wait to see it. Like, I know I'm chomping at the bit to show it. And then I was chomping at the bit to see it too.
I feel like we should be talking about this more next week when we have Jeff. But
oh, no, I mean, we probably can too. Speaking of Kyle Busch, he drove his Kyle Busch at Gateway. I had Hocevar at Kansas. I had a lot of fun with it. I don't think the people that are thinking this game is going to be like, Thunder 04 rebranded, retouched up, everything like that. Like, it's not going to be that, but it was clear that they got the basics down. I like that the physics were realistic. The customability of it is really good. There's a lot more I want. I don't like that they don't have burnouts after the races if you win.
not a fan of that.
I'm not a fan of that. Among a few other things, I'm not really crazy about how bare bonesy online mode is, but if it has good race now mode, good physics, and the career mode is really in depth, it's something good to build on. Like, I think it'll be the best NASCAR game since probably Inside Line, as long as like nothing horrible happens, like if it breaks or something,
I also don't like that there is no. This is a little thing. It's not as popular as it used to be, but I don't like that there's no ability to do split screen with a friend with a second controller, because that's something that we've had times where we've gotten together to play video games. We play a football game or something like that. We've done older NASCAR games together. We can't do that together. I can't just go get this game and play with my wife Claudia. Now, she's a very casual, hardly plays a video game kind of person, but that's something that if that was an option, she would probably love for me to have it and we could play the game together, but we can't. So with that, and there's a few things I'm just really waiting to see when this game comes out. I'm like, if I get it, I might as well just get it for the PC, wait a little bit and have it on there where it's convenient to maybe just record myself playing or something like that. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily. How much is it going to be? $80? Is that what I've seen?
There's no way.
I think it was 60 for the standard and 80 for the gold
Yeah,
or something.
That would be
like
believable.
That's what it is.
That's what I think it was.
But I'm like, I don't know if I necessarily need to justify spending $60 the day it comes out if there's some things already that I wish were there that aren't going to be there, like split screen like burnouts. That should be a standard thing.
It's a
That
game.
bugs
That's a
me so
deal
bad.
breaker for me. No, I'm
No
being a little-
choose cone, by the way.
No choose cone.
No choose cone. Also, at least because I didn't get to pit when I played it, but I saw some of the footage that came out today, and that's also, I believe, you can't change left side tires in this game either. Which I get it's not like a huge thing because you're probably gonna want to change rights more often than lefts, but it's just more like, why is this not an option? And I know they see all of this stuff we're saying. It's just more like some of these things do
Resources.
need to be put in.
The biggest thing that I worry about and why I'm not going to buy it when it first comes out, it's one thing for some of your beta testers to get it, play it, give you your opinions. But it's another thing that when this game actually goes out and lots of people are downloading it, is it going to function? Because from all accounts I know, Ignition, when it came out, was doing okay for beta testers. And then when it actually released to the public, that's when all hell broke loose on it.
I think, again, I do think that they have it more together. I mean, after all, like the motorsport games side of things was just a cluster and a half. I mean, behind the scenes, shipping jobs over to Russia with people who would never even know what NASCAR is. And I'm not joking. Like a few people that worked on this game were the people who got screwed over with Ignition, and they sent it overseas to cheaper workforces who did not know what NASCAR was. Now, that might be good for people making bootleg T-shirts in third world countries, but I don't think that a video game, you might need to be a little more in depth on that. So I do have faith that iRacing will probably have that part more together. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we've seen with the NWP 400, iRacing can still really screw up when there's too much going on. But I do think that this will be, I still think it'll be a pretty good game.
Just got to remember, this is this company's first rendition of it.
Yeah.
So they've got to take that for what it is, and they can always try to do better on the sequel, get the things that people are wanting in there. Because there's always hope for that.
I will say this, and I know it's probably not the greatest like push to market the game ever in saying this, but I think it is smart if you are on the fence to wait and see what it is. Like, just because I say it's good does not mean that you should take mine or any other creator's word as gospel, right? Because I already know there's people who are like going to be, oh my God, this game is amazing. You need to pre-order it. And it's like, if you're on the fence, wait and see. There's no harm in doing so. If you like what you see, it's a good game. If you want to wait a little longer until something else gets put in, it gets put in. I know that's probably not what iRacing would want me to necessarily say, but just as somebody who wants to be transparent about it, like as much as I liked it, I totally get people, if you haven't played it, being skeptical going in. I'm excited to actually play online with people again, even if it is kind of bare bones, and I don't think there's private lobbies, which I don't like either.
No private lobbies. That's
a miss.
Think, and there might be. I'm not
that's-
sure. I know there were some basic features that aren't in it. I don't know if it's that. So don't quote me 100% on that, because again, we didn't get to play online either. It was very basic what I got to do.
You got to feel the
unfortunately.
physics and feel what the cars feel like and see a glimpse of how the AI runs, and it all for the most part looked good, looked solid. I mean, watching your clips and some of the other clips this last week gave me that itch to play a NASCAR video game again, which I literally haven't done in like 3 years. So I'm like, this is kind of like, I was like, oh, okay, I'm looking forward to racing with the boys again and just fire it up, pop in, play, hang out. Like, that's going to be a good time, especially during the off season. So that part I'm looking forward to. If it plays well, that's a big win. It needs some of those basic features, but if it's missing some of the extra frills, it's like, okay, I'll let it slide. Because I think you got to be realistic for one, how much money they're putting into this game, and you got to think about what's a realistic player base for this. How many copies are they really going to sell? Like, it's not. This isn't Madden, which sells a bajillion copies no matter what, and they can pour as much or as little money into it as they want. Like, that's not the NASCAR iRacing console player base. So the expectations have to be realistic. I like. can we even call this a AAA game? I don't know what the budget is, but like this feels more like a AA kind of title, just because that's what NASCAR is right now in the gaming space.
I mean, there hasn't been a NASCAR video game in 4 years. That's the longest gap ever in the history of NASCAR video games without a new version of a game. And, you know, before then, the longest gap was you had a game in 2008. You didn't really, there was technically one for 09, but I don't really like to count that one. 2010, you had a brief mention in Gran Turismo. And then 2011 finally got a NASCAR video game once again, which was technically based on 2010 season. That's funny. So like looking back to that one. So that was the longest gap before this. And so there are a lot of casual gamers, they might be like, oh, they still make a NASCAR video game? I haven't seen one of those in a while. Well, that's
I just not having physical copies. Like, if somebody's walking to the store and they might just pick that up. Like my dad got me Thunder 04 because he was walking through the store one day and they had a sale for NASCAR Thunder 2004 back in 2005, and I got one of my favorite video games ever that I actually literally played 2 nights ago and have sitting on my Xbox right now, like literally 5 feet away from me, is that copy of NASCAR Thunder 2004. At
the very least, if you don't want to make a physical copy, make just a little thing to go on the shelf that says, this is a game.
Take to the register.
Get a code and redeem it to download. At least do that.
Yeah.
Think of the trees.
Think of the trees, man. I tell you, that gets slower in every third blink. That's George Carlin.
But for real, they could easily just do that, where to remind people who are still shopping for physical games, there is a game, buy this code and download it. Just do that, you know?
But there'll probably be more coming out next week or so too with it. So we'll probably have more to talk about when Jeff comes on. There's also there's some more updates, not game wise, but you know, I guess I don't know. I didn't have a good segue into that. You go, Danny.
Playoffs. We were talking about
playoffs
a little bit earlier.
Talking about playoffs.
Per Jeff Gluck, we've got a final playoff committee update. As of right now, 36 races is on the table, though it's not the favorite. And by that we mean 36 races, all points, not playoffs. So some people are arguing for it, but it's not necessarily a favorite.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There is a chance. There is a chance. Kind of in a vacuum, and it's what many on the panel kind of just want to fight for each other and discuss what they think are the best options.
So like Jeff Gluck brought it up on Teardown in his article, and then Dale Jr. talked about it today with Robin Pemberton. And from the sounds of it, and Eric, we've kind of went back and forth in this for months of like there's too many meetings, or let's have it be this long. This is why I stumped, and not because it's like supporting my side, but more the back and forth dialogue is why I stumped for why I think it's okay to take so long to have the committee going. Because the way that Jeff Gluck brought it up is apparently on the first meeting, one person, we don't know who he is, but he might have been on this podcast a few years ago, wink, wink, was for the 36 races only. I don't know who the hell that could be. There's no one who's been really adamant about it since the start of the committee.
Jared, it was Mark Martin. We get it. Yeah. You can go now.
Sorry, I've seen other podcasters can be coy with saying his name, so I figured I could. But from the way Gluck put it, is that about 6 or 7 or 8, somewhere in that range of people came forward and were like for it. And it's sort of grown a bit of momentum with people in the industry. Dale Jr. brought that up as well. He said there were more than that. I am astounded that even if it's a 10% chance, 20% chance, 5% chance, I am astounded that in modern day NASCAR, this is still on the table. And it for me and my sensibilities on it, to me, it at least says that those leading NASCAR are at least going in some way to me in the right direction. They're probably not going to choose it, but it doesn't mean I'm going to shut up about it until it happens. Like, especially when Gluck put today, when somebody said they were pro playoffs, and he responded like, well, you better get louder about it because 36 races is growing momentum with big names in the industry. And I'm like, so you're telling me there's a chance? Probably not going to happen.
So here's my concern, and I'm not shocked because NASCAR's shown time and time again they listen to Twitter. They've proven that several times in the last few years. They will make quick decisions based on the tone of Twitter. It's for better or for worse.
Sometimes
that's my only.
they choose to ignore it too.
I think they always see it. I think they don't always, succumb to the Twitter pressure, but oftentimes they do. They've shown that. My only concern is this is too big of a decision to be swayed by Twitter solely. And I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but
no, I'm with you on that.
But I'm saying like if NASCAR 3 months ago was like, I don't really know about this, and now they've like completely changed their tune. I'm like, what happened to those AI models they said they were going to be using to test different formats? What happened to all of the research?
Eric, we're bots.
It just kind of feels like they're just waiting it out. And when the clock strikes midnight on, I don't know, December 1st, they're going to pick whichever one they think Twitter likes most in that moment. Like, that's what this kind of feels like. And that's,
or they'll just be like, we ran out of time. We're going to keep doing it.
And maybe that's good. Like, if that results in the full season format and that's good for the sport going forward, great. I'm happy for them. But like, it still doesn't feel like the adults are in charge making the hard decisions. It still kind of feels like they're letting, no names, first name, bunch of numbers, dictate the sport. And it might lead them the right direction this time. But it's not, I don't know. I just don't like that being the precedent they continually set. But hey, if they end up with 36 races, I've said before, I'm more pro playoff, but I've also said if they go back to 36, I'm fine with that too. I love the sport. I love the racing, the wheel-to-wheel action. We'll find things to talk about. I think playoffs in some form or fashion, still my preferred angle, just personally, but I'm also not going to you won't see me upset if they go to a 36 race format. I won't be stumping against it by any means.
I will say, as much as I'm for a 36 race format, winners have to be awarded more. And that's the same problem the Latford system had. And it's the same problem the current system has. I think in no way imaginable, as much as rewarding during the race should matter. And I've come around on stage points. Y'all can remember back in like 2018 when we started this show, and I was like, man, I don't want these damn stage points. Like, screw this. I've come around on it, right? I'd be fine with a full season format, stage points, but in no situation ever should anyone score more points or as many points as the winner. The winner should be a premium. It should be the most important thing. That was the whole reason they went to, I shouldn't say whole reason. It was one of the biggest reasons they went to the elimination style, win and you're in, win to advance, all of that. And they weren't wrong. Winning was not being rewarded enough. So like, if they are going to go for that, and you know what, since it is on the table, I can state my case. I want winning to still matter a ton. Doesn't mean it supersedes everything. Doesn't even mean that maybe the stages are the way they are now. If they award the top 5 or the whatever it might be, I'm fine with top 10 still. Like, because for all of people saying, well, but stage points mean this much. Well, you know what? In a 36 race format, you had all damn year to make up for some so-and-so having too many stage points compared to you. So that's for me, the 36 races solves a lot of complaining issues, because it basically results to that one statement is you had all damn year. You had 35 other races to do it. You didn't have one race. It wasn't a 3-race round. It wasn't a 10-race chase. You had 36 races, 35 other races, and the one you had problems in to win it. Hell, I don't want it to happen, but it would make a super speedway finale palatable to me because you have the whole damn year leading up to it. It would. It totally would.
You could stomach
Garrett, go ahead.
No,
Garrett,
go for it, Grant.
I agree with a lot of what you're saying, pretty much entirely. You and I are both on the full season bandwagon here. But I will agree, if we go to full season, our current point structure, I personally believe, regardless of the format, is broken. Because it's not really built to create the most interesting champion. And as much as I think that it's important to not DNF, I think this format or like our current point structure awards running 20th way too many points. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
One thing that I really like about Formula One's full season points format is the winner earns so many points, and the bottom half of the field we just don't care about. And quite frankly, I think that it leads drivers to drive more aggressively because it's like what is it, a 20% point swing or 25% point swing from first to second. That's a
Mhm.
pretty big deal. 25 points versus 18. Is that 25%? Is that how it works? I think it
It's
is, roughly.
roughly. It's in the
Something
ballpark.
like that. That's a pretty big deal. I mean, if you had a quarter of the points right there between first and second place, and then they pedal down, I think that we could award 40 points to the winner and 30 points to second, and then maybe 25 for third, and you cap the points at the top 15. And I think that would entice
I
drivers to race a lot harder, and it makes a bigger storyline when a team like a Legacy Motor Club pops off a 13th place finish. Now we feel a reason to talk about it because, like, hey, John Hunter Nemechek made big moves in the standings today, you know?
And at
I
the same time, when SVG goes out there and spanks the field on a road course, it should
That
still
too. People
matter.
probably aren't going to like that idea, I'm sure, because I stole
I
it from Formula One, but I think it's cool.
I would still award to the full field, but I agree with weighing the top much heavier than currently or the
That's where
Latford
I'm at.
system did.
Mhm.
Just because I like the idea too, especially with NASCAR getting rid of the DVP, of people working their ass off to get out there and score an extra point or two. I know Dale Jr. talked about it today, how in like the Charlotte race, I can't remember the year he was saying, it was sometime in the 80s, his dad was running for a championship and had an engine issue. And there was like that pit in your stomach of like, oh man, like he's just lost 80 points on the leader. And they fixed the fix they did. I can't remember the details, but he was saying that the fix they did, you don't normally see people do that. And they go back out and they score like 5 extra positions, and those 5 positions of points meant a ton. And I think that's something else that needs to be added in, regardless of if there's a playoff format, a chase, full season. Like there should not, a DNF should not be something where a fan of a driver goes, "Oh man, that sucks," and then like walks away from the TV. Like a
Yeah.
DNF should leave a pit in your stomach from Daytona on. Like, crap, we are in the hole immediately. Like,
But do
I'll
you
push
think
back on.
it's
Yeah, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Here's a thought. Should it be as big of a deal when a team DNFs as when Kyle Larson shows up where at a racetrack where he should run well and drops and just has a slow car, like what happened at Darlington a few weeks back? Because personally, I think that's just as big of a miss, you
but
know?
if you weight the top of the standings more, you'll still get that because there's
You
so
would.
many points that you
And I
left
don't
on
I
the
don't
table.
hate that either. I think that's a good idea.
My only concern with treating DNFs like it's a plague is we see quite often. Look at Ryan Blaney this year. A lot of DNFs that he had no business getting. Like this
Yeah.
sport is so
Mhm.
contact. There's so much that can go wrong around any corner. I think DNFs are frankly a little too easy to come by nowadays for me to
Mhm.
want it to like end your season. So,
Yes.
but I ultimately still agree with you, Jarrett, that I think like winner, I don't know, throw a ballpark, should get 55, 60 points, then 30 or 40, 35, 32, and then going down. I do think I like rewarding points to pretty much everyone in the field still, even if the bottom feeders only get a handful, just because I still think like, if you only rewarded the top 15 in points right now, Ryan Preece and Justin Haley might be right next to each other in the standings. And like, I think we can all say Ryan Preece has had a significantly better year than Justin Haley has. So that's the only thing I'd want to avoid that.
Well,
And then I guess nobody's going to lose sleep over 18th in points at the end of the day, but I still I'd like to avoid that
well,
conflict
and
going
Well,
forward.
touching on what you said too about the DNF that I think that's where top weighting the points
Yeah.
can kind of bail you out. Like
Mm.
the thing I don't like currently is until basically like the final race or something random goes wrong in one of the rounds, to me there are too many safety nets for good teams. Like whether if it's a playoff, like I want it to be like the top 10 or 12. Like I want it to be difficult for Alex Bowman or for Joey Logano, or you name a super team driver who might be struggling to make it in. Like, I want it to be like, crap, we should not be running 12th in points. 12th in points is not good. Top 10 in points is good. Top 10s in races are good. And I feel like we've lost too many highs and too many lows, and there's not that much. You don't have the storyline, you don't have the emotion in it, and I think we need to bring that back.
Well, it's funny to hear you mention Alex Bowman, and I'm like, right now he's eliminated from the playoffs. But before, like if you just went off of driver standings, it's all messed up now because the playoffs points are equated into driver standings if you look at it. But throughout most of the season, well, he was a top 10 driver most of the season. And so if we're doing this the normal way, everyone's talking about, oh, Bowman's going to be out of that ride in a few years. We're already shopping who's going to be the next driver to 48.
Bowman to the 2.
Bowman's going to 2, and he's going to prove you all wrong when we go to 36 races. But not just going back to it. This system makes drivers who are actually more like a top 10 caliber driver look worse than what they might actually be.
It's almost
Bowman looks
over
worse because his teammates win a lot of more races than he did.
Well, but I think the system now it's a crazy juxtaposition. It both over and undervalues winning. Like it overvalues it a ton in different ways, but then it undervalues like the underdog win, like a Harrison Burton. When we talked about it after the race at Daytona last year, like we shouldn't be talking about whether he deserves a spot or not in the playoffs and diminishing
from a narrative standpoint.
From a narrative,
how freaking cool would it be if Harrison Burton's win had jumped him from like 35th in points to like 27th? And it's like, man, that turned their year around in a big way. They're going to score a lot. They're going to do a lot better in the financials at the end of the year because they have more money. Everybody could have just been happy for them instead of complaining about the playoffs.
Well, and then kind of talking to the playoff side too, because Jeff talked a bit about that too, is like there's a big push of like playoff points going away, but that NASCAR still really likes winning in, and they would push for that. And I'm kind of split on that, because on one half, any way you can make it less complicated to explain it to a new fan. Because like if I want to explain it, I want to explain in depth because I want them to understand it, not just the generalization. But at the same time, playoff points has been about the only thing to me that's made this elimination style format and winning in better, because it does at least reward winning, where you're at going in the points, stage wins, stuff like that. Like it does have a pretty good reflection on who's been good in the regular season. So if you're going to do that, I still want that rewarded. Now they're talking about rewarding it based, like possibly seating based on where they are in the standings. And I guess that is a big part too, but it's I guess it simplifies it, but at the same time, it's too general.
If we have to have playoffs, I actually do like winning in like that. I think that's one of the only things about the playoffs that's cool. But just because of the moments that it generates, particularly in the playoffs. But I don't know. Is it worth it? Probably not.
I've said if you want to do a compromise, because I'd be okay even if you did 16 drivers, 10 race chase, top 10 in points get in, winning in for the bottom 6. Because like, are we really going to argue that 11th through 16th in points deserve to go for a championship? Like we're going to have busy work for a majority of those years anyway. You might the winning in, it won't even really change all that much outside of the top 10 in points. Just has to
here's
really
the thing that I still don't understand that I've heard mentioned is they're talking about like awarding bonus points accordingly to how you finish in the standings instead of like points for winning and stuff like that. I've heard that mentioned. That doesn't make sense to me, because it's like, okay, if you're going to award how they finish in the standings and not bonus points to the win, then why are we resetting the score anyway? Let's just keep going. Yeah. Like what are we doing here?
That's the hard part, because I agree.
That's why I don't like the 10 race chase, is I just don't understand the reset. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I like that's the hard part. If they're going to keep playoffs, I'm with what they said. Like playoff points, regular season points. It's complicated, but you need playoff points in a similar form to what they are now to make the playoffs make sense. Is the reality. So if they really want to go the oversimplification route, then just doing away with playoffs is the way to go. Because I think I also think they sell the audience short. I think playoff points aren't as confusing as they make it out to sound. I think it's the constant resets on top of that make it confusing for people. But I could see both sides of that coin.
I think one of the other big points that Jeff said was that they're not gonna announce it until after the season, which is smart.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
don't
just
muddy
a
up
pure
this.
nightmare.
Don't muddy up this season with next season stuff.
Just do what they've done historically every time they do something like this. Just announce it in January, like 2 weeks before the season. Tell the teams in advance. The fans can learn about it before the season. Tell the teams once you've had it decided. Let's not make it a bigger PR nightmare than it's already been for the last, 22 years. I'm okay with that. I know people are like, I want it now, damn it. And I'm like, I get that, but is it really going to make a difference if we find out in January compared to October?
No, it won't. It won't.
So,
speaking of wanting things now, before we move on to the next segment, I'm going to have a mini segment here. Just to give a shout out to somebody who's in the chat right now. The artist formerly known as M. Saylor, the CEO of Strategy, Michael Marutz himself, is back in control of his channel, staying far away from 7-Up. And he's in control of his YouTube channel. He's back in the chat, everybody.
good to see you, Michael.
Good scenes.
Crazy situation happened to Michael. If you didn't see it, he's posted a video on his channel and get the full idea of what went down with him. But he's back. He's in the saddle again, and it ain't happening again.
I can't wait to have you on the show on the 8th, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
But I think it's time for a little Law and Order NASCAR edition.
Dun dun. Well, this one actually had a sort of happy ending. I mean, at least it's an open-ended ending, but it still had at least, wasn't burning it to the ground like the other one might be.
Yeah, Legacy Motor Club and Rick Ware actually settled something. What a novel concept. Settlement. Wow.
In the big 2025.
Essentially, Rick Ware has agreed to sell Legacy Motor Club a charter for next season. However, they are going to still field the 51 as a chartered entry, and Roush has said that they've been informed they will still be able to lease a charter for the 60. So it sounds like, from at face value, nothing is really going to change for next year. Now, who is technically leasing the charter to Roush? Maybe it's actually Legacy leasing. I like that. Behind the scenes could be complicated, but from a fan's perspective, I don't think anything's really going to change next year at those teams. 2027 is where things get interesting, because I'm imagining Legacy will have a third car at that point, third driver, third team. Rick Ware will have a decision to make. Do they want to keep the 51? Do they want to sell and cash out completely? If they do, I'm sure Roush will be the first in line to buy because they want to keep that third car around. But if Rick Ware holds on to the 51, Roush will be the team in 2 years that's looking for a charter either to lease or to purchase, something like that. So things could get dicey a year from now for Ryan Preece and company, unless Keselowski hangs it up maybe, and that's his new ride. We'll see.
Depends on the other
that's where it gets
lawsuit.
Open-ended.
It depends on the other lawsuit, depending on how that charter side goes. It might all resolve for them.
Yeah. Will charters even be a thing this time next year? That honestly remains to be seen. And then I'm
going to start pushing Bowman to the 2 and Bowman to the 6 narratives moving forward.
There's also the TJ Pusher complication, because he announced a few months ago, like, oh yeah, I'm buying Rick Ware Racing, by the way. I don't know if that was legit or if anything's come out of that, but if it's his decision ultimately what to do with that charter going forward, he has shown a willingness to wheel and deal in the past. So again, the 51 cashing out in a year or so, also on the table, maybe not on the table. We'll see. But yeah, at least it sounds like they are, the teams are moving forward. We'll just have to wait and see what that really looks like, probably in 2027.
I'm just glad we got something to push forward with all these lawsuits this year. It feels like we just keep talking about what's eventually going to happen. And now we have some concrete stories that we'll be able to follow. I'm interested to see how Legacy can do. Their performance has gotten a bit better towards the end of the year. How will that third team will that throw a monkey wrench in there? Will there be more data to get from it? Like, is there a Dodge connection at some point? Like, I'm interested in these teams.
Do any of these teams join a new OEM? 2027 might be tight. Could be doable, perhaps, maybe. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
I'll be very excited to see what Legacy eventually does with a third car in. I'm assuming it's going to be 27. They're not going to have a team next year, I don't think. I think that's getting leased because I don't think Toyota's ready to support a third team for them anyway. So I don't think it's going to happen this late in the year. But they've been looking for a third charter, I believe, since 2024-ish. So it's about time they got it done. So that's exciting for them.
Going to be
Definitely.
interesting.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's been fun so far, right, Danny?
I love fun, guys. It is so fun to talk to my friends every Wednesday night. I'm going to have fun watching Tennessee football on Saturday, but I think we're going to have fun the rest of this show.
Yeah, let's get it going. I think we we got predictions coming up here. So each host make 2 NASCAR Motorsports show-related predictions. Keep track of them each week in our accountability sessions, and we'll try and keep it concise. Danny said 3 of the 4 JGR cars to get a top 10 at Loudon.
It was way off. I should have been banking on Penske / Wood Brothers.
Eric said JGR continues their streak and wins at Loudon.
Whoops.
And me, I said that the 3 NWP hosts NFL teams would go 1-2 in week 3. Woohoo! 48-10 blowout, baby. We got us a win. I also said IndyCar and NASCAR would return to Chicagoland in 2026 or by 2026. IndyCar did not. Big bummer. I think I was buying a lot of steam of ovals at that point. And I said Toyota would sweep the weekend at Loudon. Is where it is.
Wow, we whiffed on Toyota this week. Oof.
We really did. So Danny leads at 36.76, Eric 34.61, and me at 31.94. All time, I still lead at 37.8, Danny at 33.14, and Eric at 32.97. All right. I think, Danny, you lead us off this week.
Yeah, I'm going to keep mine NWP NFL related. Last year, the Titans only won 3 games. I wore a bag to the Titans-Vikings game. We were the worst team in the NFL. We got the number 1 draft pick. Not willing to go all the way and say we go 0-17 or anything like that. We might get number 1 draft pick again, but I am going to say Titans match or do worse how we did last year, and Titans will win 3 or less games in 2025.
I'll keep my NASCAR related. I will throw Kyle Busch under the bus here to start. I don't think he finishes top 10 again this season.
Ooh.
I think they're not gonna. Let me put it this way. I don't think Randall Burnett's gonna be in all the meetings. I think we saw that on display at Loudon, considering how bad they ran.
I'll do show related for my first one. I think the pick point title gap will be 8 points or fewer. Trust me, you'll understand why that is not a layup when we get to the pick points.
Grant, do you have a prediction?
Yeah. Give me at least 1 Legacy Motor Club car in the top 10 this weekend. They both had top 5 cars on speed on 20-lap optimal lap rank. Both had top 5 cars, the 2nd and the 4th fastest cars actually at Darlington. And Eric Jones currently's got the 19th fastest car on intermediate tracks, and honestly, that number's been trending up as the year goes on. So give me at least 1 Legacy car in the top 10 at Kansas.
I like it. Fun. Danny, what do you got?
And for my second magic trick, I'm just going to go opposite of Eric and say Kyle Busch does get a top 10 in the last 5 races of the season. Did you forget Talladega exists?
He's playing the game.
How the mighty have fallen. Talladega is Kyle's only chance at anything, man. My second prediction.
That one for all we know.
My second prediction, and maybe it's early to make this one. I'll give you that. Whether he's in it or not, Ryan Blaney will lead the most laps at Phoenix in November.
I'll go ratings on this one. I think the 3 NBC races will be down 10% or more combined.
I could say it.
I think Talladega is going to be down. They had a pretty big pop last year, and they're going to be going head to head with F1, I believe, in America. On top of the football stuff and on top of the USA races for the next 3 weeks, probably not drawing a lot of people in. I get it's on big NBC, but that does not mean that we're going to see it go up. Unfortunately, I think it's just we're going to have to ride down the hill the rest of the season.
I'm going to make a really weird prediction just because it'll be fun. If the playoffs stay in their one race finale format for next year, Ryan Blaney wins the next 2 championships.
Ooh,
A lot of big
Because-
ifs in
I
there.
like
this
it.
year and next year.
I feel really good about this year, but next year, if he makes it to Miami, he did have the fastest car per optimal lap rank before the engine expired
It's
at
true. yeah.
Homestead. So we can talk all about Larson. But Blaney may have a better car, and Penske does seem to have the whole playoffs thing figured out. They don't necessarily need the short flat tracks. Logano's popped off weird wins at Las Vegas, and they find a way to make things happen. So give me back-to-back Ryan Blaney championships.
Could you imagine this after
If the
next
playoffs stay the same.
Could
That's
you
the
imagine
caveat.
this after next season? Penske Racing has 2 3-time champions, each having 2 at Phoenix, 1 at Homestead.
Damn, I didn't even
Appalling.
think about that part. Both 1 away from tying Jeff Gordon.
Appalling.
It'd be fun for us on this show, that's for sure. Now I'm going to ask you guys to please hide the chat.
I don't want to.
Oh, you're going to have to.
Way ahead of you. I've been ignoring the chat all night. Just kidding, chat. Just kidding.
Perfect. It's time for
Breaking.
random
Eric
driver.
Estep hates the chat.
More at 10. All right, random driver of the week on the year so far, or no, I mean all time actually. Eric leads Danny 30-29. He got Rich Bickle last week, and in the last 5, he also got Mike Dillon and Jack Sprague. Danny in the last 5 got Sterling Marlin and Frankie Muniz. And Grant, no pressure on you, but guests and I are tied 6-6 all time. So the tie could be broken tonight, maybe. We'll see.
Did Grant
but-
get it last time? I'm struggling to remember.
You got it, one of them, right?
No, I'm
You haven't
really
got it
bad
yet?
at this. No,
Oh, okay.
no,
Well,
terrible.
3 guesses, and well, you'll know by the sounders if
Well,
they're right or wrong.
You definitely will do better than Ryan Priest, that's for sure.
He cheated.
Oh, brutal.
He literally cheated, and he still lost. It was great.
That's
It
fun.
was great. All right, let's get it going. We have 20 clues, 20 questions. This random driver hails from Alabama.
As a lot of drivers are.
This random driver was inducted into the Georgia Motorsports Hall of Fame. By the way, Grant,
Wait.
on your itinerary down at the bottom,
I-
there's also the drivers we've used before. So-
Yes, I do need to
I've
pull
been
that up.
there.
You're right.
I think I've been to the Georgia Motorsports Hall of
You
Fame.
have. You did a video about it.
Yeah. Oh.
This random driver has been tweeted about by none of us. And I looked up all 4 of our accounts to do it. This random driver retired from racing due to a broken back.
Ooh.
This random driver also passed away by heart attack at the age of 46. So
Oh, jeez.
lived hard, died young. This random driver reportedly had over 200 modified wins, but exact numbers aren't officially known.
You don't usually think of good modified drivers coming from Bama. You think more to North Face. That's the interesting thing of that.
This feels like it's someone old.
Well, this random
That's what
driver
I'm
has
thinking.
4 career cup wins.
I think I know who it is. I'm just can't remember his name. I remember the
Well,
owner.
just say his name if you know him already. What are you
No, I
talking about?
can't remember his name. I can picture his car.
This random driver actually won a cup race with a broken neck.
I really feel like I know who this is. It's
Well,
gonna
Kurt
hit me all
Angle
of a
won
sudden.
the gold medal, but he didn't drive a race car.
This random driver's career top 10 percentage in cup was 50%.
Jeez.
But I'm going to take it that he might not have drove a lot of cup races.
Yeah, he was 2 for 4.
He won the race, but he won 4 races, but he didn't get a top 10. This random driver once flipped a car, got out, and with the help of fans, flipped the car back over, getting back in the car, and then finishing the race.
Huh.
Was that in the 50% cup win percentage? Is that a cup race?
Or top 10 percentage? I did not
Or
check that
or
part.
percentage? Yeah.
This random go for it.
Go ahead. No, give me another clue because I don't want to waste this guess.
This random driver was the driver who took over the final ride of Big Bill France.
I don't think this. I was going to throw out the name. I don't even know if he raced in NASCAR, but I know he was a Georgia guy. I was going to throw out the name Lloyd C.
Lloyd, that's a good pull, but that is
I don't think that's who. Yeah, I think he was ahead. I think he was too early for NASCAR.
That's one.
Does the chat already have it, Jarrett?
No.
Oh my gosh.
That's shocking. Because the chat can just Google this stuff and find it out.
This random driver was instrumental in establishing women drivers in the early years of NASCAR. So,
Sarah Fisher.
Sarah Fisher
Is that the right name?
is incorrect.
I don't even know if I got her name right, and I'm feeling that's awful.
Wait. Well, I'm just. So you wasted a second guess on a woman driver who would have won 4 cup wins. When how many women have won?
I forgot about that clue.
Same thought.
Fair point. I forgot about that clue. I'm just thinking of names I remember from that visit to the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame.
I think Danny's
I forgot about
has
that
done
clue.
this for a while. You can take notes during this. There is nothing illegal about that.
Sometimes I do. I usually not this time though. I'm winging it.
Someone said brother Sarah is still alive.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be dogpiling because you want numbers? You want the numbers?
Numbers would be nice.
I'm sorry. The chat's on one tonight. This random driver.
I think I got her name wrong. I don't remember who I'm thinking of.
This random driver drove these numbers: 4, 7, 9, 14, 33, 49, 77, 88, 297, and 308. Would you like the OEMs that this random driver drove?
It's gonna be like Buick and Oldsmobile and all that crap.
Chevrolet, Ford, Oldsmobile, Chrysler, Lincoln, Plymouth, and Hudson. So I got a good NASCAR YouTube poll for this next clue. This random driver is the only cup winner at Air Base Speedway.
Oh my gosh, I've not watched Slat's video in so long.
No.
Oh, I remember hanging out with him maybe a month or two after he had finished that series. I remember we had a thing he had a bounty. If you could bring him any information about the track that would be useful, and we added in you can come on the podcast with Slap if you'd like. All right, we got 5 clues remaining. This random driver was the first ever NASCAR pole sitter. This random driver was also the first driver to finish 3rd in the points in NASCAR.
I don't think they have it, so I'm going to wait. I have another guess, but I'm going to wait one more clue.
This random driver is a part of a large racing
Bob
family.
Flock. Bob
Flock.
Yeah.
Correct. And for the first time in a long time, We have someone who took a 2-pick lead.
Woo! 2-point conversion, baby. Go, Dos Equis, go for Dos.
That was a hard one. Good pull on that one.
I think I was getting confused because I think we did Tim Flock earlier in the year, and then there's the other one is what's his face, Fonty Flock. So I was like, it's gonna be Fonty or Bob, but I was like, Fonty's such a weird name, so I'm gonna go Bob. Barbara.
Bob.
Barbara. I wonder if Barbara's watching tonight. Well, yeah. So Bob Flock, yeah, it was Tim Flock that we did before. Danny got Tim, and so Bob Flock goes to Eric. Well, all right. So 31-29 all time. I like it. I like it because now Danny's
Sarah Christian was the name I was actually trying to think of. I believe
I was not going to correct you on that,
which is my bad on that. It hit me later. I'm like, oh no, I was like, I knew I got her name wrong.
You might have got the win, but man, I still had the own of Eric. How many women have won in NASCAR?
I forgot about that clue. Whoops.
But at the end of the day, he gets the dub. And now we all head on to Kansas.
Yeah. We are in Kansas now. Can't say we're not in Kansas anymore. Well, technically we're not, but we're going there.
Well, yeah. So what do we got going on this weekend?
Just a race or something like that. They're doing some NASCAR. You guys ever heard of it?
Yeah, I think so.
Some weekend notes. Butterbean will be in the Kaulig Xfinity number 11 this weekend. Raja Karuf is making his first start of the season in the Hendrick Xfinity number 17. Been a minute. Good to see him back in that car. Justin Bonsignor is in the Joe Gibbs Racing Xfinity Series number 19. The Cup Series race is the Hollywood Casino 400. It's a 267-lap race, broken up 80 laps in stage 1, 85 laps in stage number 2, 102 laps in the final stage. It's going to start at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. You can watch it on USA and the NBC Sports app. You can also listen to it on MRN and Sirius XM radio. As far as weather, just overall, we are officially in fall now. The first day of fall was actually this week, and but out there you're gonna struggle to tell it because it's going to be 87 degrees, sunny, 6% chance of rain. I mean, it's better than 90, so I'll give you that. The defending winner of this race is Ross Chastain. The Xfinity Series race is the Kansas Lottery 300, the 200-lap race, 45 laps in each stage 1 and 2, 110 laps in stage number 3. This race is going to start at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. You can catch this race on the CW, listen to it on MRN and Sirius XM radio. Saturday's weather for Kansas, going to be 85 degrees, mostly sunny, and a 6% chance of rain. The defending winner of this race will not win this race because it's Eric Almirola, and he is not racing this weekend. As far as the pick points, Jarrett is leading, 485 points. Chat, you are second, minus 28. We're really starting to get more scattered and more in line of where we think we're headed, but we'll see how it actually shapes out. Eric, you are third, minus 33, and I am in the basement, minus 40. I'm in my usual spot where I'm used to being, but it's been a rather competitive season up until this point still.
Looks like you
compared to
guys need
last
pick
year.
playoffs. It's getting a little stale.
Every 3 weeks we'll eliminate one until one's remaining.
There you go. I like it.
Wait, actually.
Brian
France be like,
Come on, guys. We
But he'd
spent
be like,
how long?
Check
That
Twitter,
sounds
see if
good.
they like it.
We are trying
Eureka.
our best to create the importance of single season point standings. We can't do this to these people.
All right. So what do we kick off with? Xfinity picks. So yeah,
Yep.
let's get it. Who's
And
gonna
we
win that
always
Xfinity race?
have our guest go first. So Grant, who do you think will win the Xfinity Series race this weekend?
Y'all are so kind to let me just take the layups. And I feel just a little bit bad about it. but not that bad about it, honestly. Yeah, give me Connor Zilic.
Knew it.
But let me tell you why, because the numbers are just ridiculous. This whole season, from beginning to end, on non-drafting ovals, would somebody like to tell me how many times Connor Zilic has had a car per optimal lap model that was worse than 5th?
0.
It's been
Very
3.
few.
It's been 3. 3 whole times. It was Phoenix, Miami, and Darlington right at the start of the year. Recently he's been on a roll, obviously. Dover, fastest car. Indy, 3rd fastest. Iowa, 4th fastest. 2nd fastest at Gateway. Fastest at Bristol. I don't know how you pick against the guy right now. Like, I mean, he's just unreal.
Fair enough. Danny, who you got?
I'm going to go with his teammate, Justin Allgaier.
And I'll take little Sammy, not Sammy Smith, although that would be a big weekend for him. I'm sorry, Grant. I'm going to go Sam Mayer.
All right, chat. Who y'all got? See, it's going to be really impressive if I get like 1st or 2nd place points this week. Like, I'm going to be really happy if that's the case.
That'd be big. Are they going Sheldon Creed? Is that what I'm seeing right now with my own 2 eyes?
Sheldon Creed. They get second and get them points. Not a bad one if you need points, because it can get you second.
So I'm going to go with the guy that people don't really associate with being really good here for some reason, even though he's always fast. I've seen him win here in person. I'm going to go Brandon Jones.
That's fine. Not
Hey,
Taylor Gray.
Jones.
I was tempted. I was tempted. So who's going to
Cup
suck in
race.
the cup race?
Grant,
You got
who's
Grant.
gonna suck?
I'm not ready to give a suck pick. Go to somebody else. I don't even. I forget
come-
you make
come
me
on,
do
you
these.
should have
I
all the
forget
stats
you guys
of who's
make me do
terrible.
these goofy things.
Well,
Go
we
to
have
somebody
Dark
else.
Horse next, so
I'll be here in a minute.
I'll be bold and just say for what we expect 2311 usually to be versus what they have been for a little bit, I'll just say Tyler Reddick in this case.
wow.
I'll go Cindric. I know it's not. I guess it's a little exciting. He's in the playoffs.
We're in the same boat with that when I go
And keep in
Cindric.
mind, I could say Tyler Reddick to suck, but be more like he's gonna be 20th or something like that. So
What's the chat saying? I think they're going Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch. He almost won this race last year. Come on, chat. Have some
Fun
faith.
fact: Kyle Busch has over a 50% crash rate this year, which that's tough.
Well, to be fair, I did say a minute ago he's not going to score a top 10 the rest of this year, so I'm kind of speaking out of both sides of my mouth here.
So, Grant, you got that suck pick and
Yeah,
Dark Horse pick?
give me Joey Logano for a suck pick. Because I want to spice it up a little bit. A and B, he's only got the 21st fastest car in intermediate tracks this year. So unless Penske has cooked up something in their lab of witchcraft, which is perfectly possible, he shouldn't be
every year
very
this time
good.
of year.
Like he shouldn't. I feel like an idiot going against it, but he shouldn't be very good. And I already showed my hand on the dark horse. Give me John Hunter Nemechek. He had a top 5 car at Darlington, been on a roll as of recently. Yeah, and I mean they've run well on intermediate tracks before. I think it'll be a big weekend for them.
Yeah, I like the legacy picks. Go ahead, Danny.
I like it.
This is underdog now because Gunnar sucks and he's got nothing left to do, nothing left to race for. But it's a pretty good track for him, so I'm gonna go with Alex Bowman as my underdog.
Every week, Bowman is either the suck or underdog pick for Danny.
Oh, I know those
Not
few very
every
few win
week.
pick. Yeah, he has a win picks too.
Yeah, occasionally it's a win pick, but
I've very rarely had him as a win pick here lately.
I like the Nemechek pick. I'm going to go, maybe it's low hanging fruit, but I like Carson Hocevar to at least be a top 10 guy, maybe better.
I think the chat's going Eric Jones. They were
Great
going
pick,
Hocevar,
Chad.
but I see the 43.
That's Jonesy.
And I'm once again going to double up with somebody. This time it is Danny. I messed with you, but I'm with you. I think Alex Bowman will be pretty solid this week, which leaves the wiener. Who's going to win Kansas this week? I know, Grant, you have this one.
Yeah, we've been ready for this. This one's easy. Give me Kyle Larson. I picked him earlier in the year to win here. Look, everybody's all concerned about Kyle Larson. They think he's been off or something. Guys, he's still Kyle Larson. He's still the second fastest car in intermediate tracks. This whole season, I wrote it down here somewhere. This season, he has had 4 cars worse than a top 10 car on intermediate tracks or on non-drafting ovals. He's completely fine. Also, on intermediate tracks, he's the 6th best passer in the Cup Series, and he has a restart retention rate of 85%. He only loses positions on 15% of the restarts. The guy's going to be fine. I've also been doing these power rankings recently on Twitter where I have an algorithm that like takes into effect speed, restarts, passing, and defending from the last 5 races, and it says who's been the best based on those performance metrics. Larson over the last 4 weeks has climbed from 10th to 6th. Now he's 3rd. Maybe Larson will peak at the right time of the year. Probably not because he's got to go through Penske, but we're getting there. Give me Larson.
Hey, he brought the data to back it up. Can't deny that.
Appreciate
What about
it.
you, Danny?
He's going with Kyle Larson. I'm going with his teammate William Byron.
Oh.
Byron.
Oh. Oh, I have options now. Ooh.
That's immediately what I'm thinking with my remaining ones.
I mean, Byron's not a bad. I mean, Larson would have probably been my 2nd or 3rd pick. Byron's also not a bad pick. Oh man, this is shoot. I think Toyota gets back on track. I'll go Denny Hamlin at Kansas.
Yep.
Hard to leave that out there, honestly.
That's the right pick. That's the correct pick.
Let's see what the chat's got. I'm seeing a lot of 19s.
Yeah, I am too. I'm going to give him 19.
Real.
Okay.
Briscoe.
My phone auto-corrected Briscoe to brisket a bunch this last week. It made me
Chase
hungry every
Brisket.
single
It's
time.
excited to go to Kansas City. It knows
really-
that we need to get the barbecue.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, then it's funny how these things turn out sometimes. I'll go with the same number as my Xfinity pick. I'll go with the 20, Christopher Bell.
Ooh, I think we all have pretty good picks.
Nobody picking Blaney is a surprise to me.
I know.
He was my 5 pick, but Danny went off the reservation for me and took someone I didn't have. So I was like, well, there's my list.
So I just want to say Byron was my number 1 pick, but my number 2 pick was actually Logano.
Oh man, he's a believer this
boy.
week. Wow. All right. Interesting.
All right.
Interesting. Good
If
stuff.
Grant
Well,
whipped out the numbers and Byron was the correct one, I would have went with Logano.
Lagooner. I'm sorry. Those are the greatest videos on Instagram.
before we get into our final super chat stage break, before folks start filing out of here, Grant, we really appreciate your time. Can you tell folks where to find your work? I know you have a Patreon that you encourage people to subscribe to. Can you tell people a little bit more of like where they can find your stuff for the rest of this season and beyond?
Absolutely. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it. Biggest thing, autoracinganalytics.com. I post all of my season-long data there. The amount of stuff, like that website's grown a lot. The amount of stuff that you guys have access to now is pretty insane. Like it's getting to the point where it's almost compromising what I can do with race teams because I'm giving you so much stuff for almost nothing. So go to the website, you can sign up for the Patreon, and you'll get access to all of my advanced metrics. If anything doesn't make sense, DM me on Twitter. I'd be happy to explain it. Also, if you watch this show, go ahead and use code Danny, and that'll give you $1. All you got to do is spend $1 for your first month.
Wow.
And then you can try it out, see if you like it. Any questions, just shoot me a message on Twitter. Post stuff on Twitter all the time, just some interesting things that I find interesting, keep you up to date. You guys have probably seen my, like, if the fastest car, if we extrapolate how, where the cars would land on track, if the race had played out, how the optimal lap model predicted, that would be where the cars go. I'm trying to do, that's AR_analytics. On YouTube, I'm also AR_analytics. I've got a couple videos on there. Videos are really time consuming, guys. I'd love to make more of them, but dang it, I don't know how y'all do it. It is crazy. So I'll try and do a couple things in the off season. I have some ideas. I'm probably going to do one about like analytically who are the best prospects for 2026 in the lower series. Might do some stuff about guys who missed the mark on the season. I don't know. We'll see. Shoot me some ideas. That's about it for me, though. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I put the
Thanks for
link to
having
auto
me.
race.
It's always a blast. So thanks
it
for
is.
doing it.
I put the link to autoracinganalytics.com in the chat here. And if you click at the very top of that, there's a Patreon link once you get to that
Yep.
website. I assume that's probably the easiest way to get people there,
Yep.
but yeah.
Yep. Thanks.
And
Appreciate
use
it.
code
Yeah.
Danny.
Use code Danny. Love that. Danny, you got super chat stage break for us?
I do have a lot of super chats. You guys have been very, very generous tonight, so I appreciate everyone. We last left off of Austin Blanchett. We're going to see Austin's name quite a bit tonight, but we're going to kick back off with Rowdy 8 Diecast. Will, good to see you. Appreciate $2. I'm just curious to see who is the new crew chief of the 8. Well, we forgot.
You heard my
some
wish
idea.
cast pick, but yeah, who knows?
I've got the dream one of Cole Pern, but I doubt it.
It'll probably be like Justin Alexander pulled off his couch again or something.
All right. I stand at 2311. Appreciate $1.99. Richard Childress needs to go to Arbor Acres in Wisconsin. Fit right in.
Do we know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
I'm scared to look into it.
Yeah, no, I'm
I
not
don't know
sure.
what it
I
is
don't
either.
like being out of the loop on a joke.
Same.
iBolt07, appreciate the $10 from you. Who wins their first cup race first? Corey Heim, Connor Zelish, Carson Hocevar, Ty Gibbs. Debate.
Hocevar.
Hocevar.
Hocevar, Gibbs. Who was the other one?
Corey Heim, Connor Zelish, Carson Hocevar, Ty Gibbs.
Absolutely Hocevar. Yeah.
Hocevar's come close already.
I'm going to float out Ty Gibbs. Yeah, go ahead.
Not that any Hamlin has anything to say about it. Austin Blanchett, appreciate the $9.99 from you. I would put the ratings blame on the title format. The drivers don't care as much about the title, so why should we as fans? The sport has little to no star power, and races shouldn't be on cable. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think we're kind of in the same boat as you there, Austin. Eric Andrade, appreciate the $5 from you. Game on, and in parentheses, cringe tie.
You said that over the radio, yeah.
Austin Blanchett, appreciate the $4.99 from you. I've never felt worse about the future of the sport than I do now. It feels very similar to how WWE felt in the end of the Vince McMahon days, Danny. I can kind of see what you're saying. I mean, WWE's kind of trending in a better direction financially, but they are taking WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia in 2 years, so it's not necessarily a huge favorite to all the fans.
Precursor to NASCAR.
I'd pump the brakes on that one to whoever commented that. Let's get through whatever happens in January, and then we're going to know what the real future of the sport holds. Because right now, I don't think anybody knows, but we might know more, or maybe we'll know less in January.
And that's
but
not just
might know more.
And that's not just playoff format stuff. I'm sure you're even alluding to like
No,
lawsuit.
I'm talking about lawsuit. Like we have no idea what anything's going to look like. So maybe it'll get better, or maybe it'll be over. Who really knows?
NASCAR just went away. I have no clue what any of us would actually talk about on here anymore.
We'd all be
the new startup series that somebody makes. Who knows?
I mean, I would talk about trains. I'd just go to that one. But
I was about to say, I was like, Danny, I think you have a couple of things you'd have an easy time chatting about on here.
This will become the Tennessee Balls channel.
Mm-hmm.
Blake Feeman, appreciate the $1.99 from you. Went to WWE Monday Night Raw for the first time. It was fun. I'm glad you had fun. Been a while since I went to a WWE show in person, but they're always a good time. I was actually at Monday Night Raw when Kyle Busch won the 24/7 championship in Nashville, Tennessee from R-Truth. Michael Waltrip was the referee in that match.
Oh. Danny Dye was there.
Justin Drake, appreciate the $19.99 from you. Very generous. Well, at least 3 of the 4 Penske guys are back. Cinderella is the Herbst of that team.
Oh, man.
Brutal.
If he's the Herbst of that team, at least he can win.
More ain't that bad. Just Cindric's doing all right. He just had a rough couple weeks.
Austin Blanchett, appreciate the $1.99 from you. Danny, Ole Miss fan here. Wear earplugs, no joke. And then with a little bell emoji. Yeah, they at Mississippi State football games, Jarrett, Eric, don't know if you guys noticed or not, but their crowd is known to bring cowbells and constantly ring them throughout the entire game. So I'm hoping that Tennessee, Joey Aguilar, just launches touchdown after touchdown after touchdown and shuts them up in no time.
Got a fever.
Ugh.
You know the prescription.
They actually play that on the big screen before the games I've seen.
Damn right they should. It's one of the funniest skits ever.
Snappy 452, appreciate the $5 from you. In stark contrast to the ratings panic was the experience at Loudon. Sellout and the at-track energy was awesome. An excellent weekend, well spent. Glad you had a good time. I had a good time when I was there a couple years ago, albeit with the rain. But it's a cool track. It really is.
It is. That is the interesting split. Is like there was that like data leak or not data leak, but like there was that information a while back. Like attendance at track attendance is actually up significantly this year. So it's just interesting how the TV versus in person experience, how people consume the sport is very different.
Austin Blanchett, appreciate the $4.99 again from you. NASCAR feels similar to WWE. They'll never dip below 1 million viewers. That's the core audience that won't leave. They have lost all casuals in the format. I don't want to say they've lost all casuals because the Daytona 500 and races like that still bring in decent views, but you're right. A casual audience will not probably choose the Bristol night race over a lot of good college football games on a Saturday night. You're right. Isaac V24, appreciate the $4.99 from you. I'm just apathetic to the championship at this point. It doesn't matter if Hamlin, Byron, Larson, or Bell had better overall seasons. Penske is just going to win. So far, you're right.
I'd put Blaney's season up against any of those guys, to be fair. That's the one thing. I do want to nip this narrative right now. If Blaney wins the championship this year, like you can't deny he's one of the championship caliber dudes. You could argue,
I think this would be one of the most legitimate next gen championships if Blaney got it this year. I think
that's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin Blanchett, appreciate the $4.99 from you again. Danny, I'll be at the Ole Miss LSU game. That's right. They are playing. There'll be two big games in the state of Mississippi this weekend, Tennessee and Mississippi State, and LSU at Ole Miss. Hate that I'll miss you this weekend while you're in Starkville. Go try out Bulldog Burger. Great food. Love you guys. Bulldog Burger. Let's look at this real quick. Looks solid. Have to keep that one in mind. Bulldog Burger. Alex Left, appreciate the $5 from you. Really obscure WWE joke, but it's time. It's time. It's Penske time. That's so obscure, even I'm not getting the reference. I hate to admit it. Ugh, gosh, I thought
it was like the what's her face? What's the Christmas, the Mariah Carey, it's time every Christmas time.
She's falling out right now as we speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all ever have to work like retail during the Christmas season?
Oh yeah,
I hate that song so much. I worked at the grocery store for 2-3 years. Oh,
a lot of Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
So I saw Mariah Carey live last year. Some of my wife's friends wanted to go see Mariah Carey. I made it onto her TikTok somehow. I'm in like one of the shots of people in the crowd.
No shit. That's actually cool.
I was like, wait, that's me. Her friends sent that to the group chat because they're the ones who are super fans. Like, Eric made it onto the TikTok. I'm so angry.
Yeah,
better be caught there than at a Coldplay concert.
Yeah. No funny business going on, Mariah Carey. We were just celebrating the season.
No, because when I worked at that store, I remember that song playing as I had to clean up a kid's puke in the liquor aisle because he decided he somehow got, this is like probably a 7 or 8 year old kid, managed to open up a bottle of wine and tried downing it and then threw it all up. And listen, I have no problem cleaning up my own kid's puke, but I don't want to clean up somebody else's, especially at the time when I was like, I think I was like 18, 19. Like that was the last thing I wanted to do at 9:30 on my Saturday night. So just hate that damn song.
Austin Bland said, appreciate the $1.99 from you. He said, rest in paradise, Charlie Kirk. Yep, still very, very sad situation for the entire country. Justin Drake, appreciate the $19.99 from you. And we're going to go full Michael Marutz mode here of this one. Grandpa, Dennis wrecked me. What was that for? I've never wrecked anyone. Joe Gibbs. I can't deal with this anymore. You had it coming, you little crap. About time you get belt to butt, you dang Nepo baby.
Did you self-censor that, Danny?
Yeah, I'm self-censoring. I just
All right,
don't.
I was going to say, well,
I don't like cussing if I don't have to.
well done.
Keyshawn H, appreciate the $1.99 from you. It's time for you to drive the number 54 of maturity.
That would be
He will
teaching Tigers a
never let
lesson.
that happen.
We don't got to worry about that one.
Speedy Racing 15, appreciate the $5 from you. Thank you for this podcast. It is so awesome. As a Kyle Larson fan, going to last year's Kansas race for my birthday was disappointing considering his stats. There. Yeah, that would have been a tough one as a Kyle Larson fan last year. Hopefully, Grant says it should be better for you if you're going this year. He's Speedy Racing sent another $2 one. By the way, my birthday is tomorrow. Keep up the great work. Well, happy birthday to you, Speedy Racing.
Happy early birthday. Have a good one.
Happy birthday.
Bobby Blair, the Texans profile picture. Appreciate it. $9.99 from you. I'm an Austin Dillon fan, and I think he gets too much crap, but the imitator is hilarious.
I agree on both accounts.
Yeah.
Keyshawn H throwing out an ID here for $1.99. Put Daniel Suarez in the 51. He has sponsors. But so does Cody Ware.
How badly does Daniel want to stay in the Cup Series?
as bad as Corey LaJoy?
I mean,
we never even talked about that. I wish Corey LaJoy had run a truck. I think he'd actually run pretty well in a truck.
He's done fine in his
He's
part-time
done pretty
starts
well
this
in
year.
that Spire truck. I would
When I
really
saw
enjoy
that
seeing that. But
when I saw that
oh well.
report come out today saying, I just want to race in Cup, I don't want to race trucks, I'm like, I literally quote tweeted it with the scene from Back to the Future. Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic. But this is literally what he was saying at the start of this year.
Yeah.
To be fair, I read the article and watched the clip, and it's like he was talking about like it sounds like he's more taking a step back from racing than like like if he got a Cup ride, he'd do it. Yeah, it's like he was talking about Prime. He has like I think a new business opening up, and he's like wants to do the Daytona 500 because he says he can bring like he can be a driver that can win, and he's good. So I think he's getting a little too much hate, honestly, for that one.
If he is starting up a new business, do you know what the business is by chance?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's like carbon fiber or something or whatever. I'm not sure.
The joy of seeding the sequel.
Truthfully, I got to say, one of the best businessmen in all of NASCAR, in my opinion, today is probably not a great driver, but it's BJ McLeod. He got out of his charter team. They made a lot of money off that deal by selling it. He can still show up and race every now and again when they want to, or if they get Catherine Legg, who brings money to the car. And then he's now started what I would expect to be a profitable business with the Mountain Coaster and Pigeon Forge. I mean, the dude's just smart. He's a good businessman, in my opinion. So maybe Corey LaJoy can be similar. Justin Drake, appreciate the $9.99 from you. What does Austin the Imitator Dillon do when he takes the lead? He wakes up from sleeping, realizing it was a dream. I will add, or
it's Richmond, yes.
Yeah, Richmond was not a dream.
Well, it was for him. I mean, like in a metaphorical sense.
Awesome. Blandset, appreciate another $4.99 from you. The real ratings test will be the Daytona 500 next February. If that's down as well, we have a real problem. IndyCar has all races on Fox. That's unacceptable. I don't think ratings will be down significantly. It could be down, but I don't expect them to be down significantly.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Just don't rain.
Awesome.
yes.
Again, with a $4.99. It's not just the NFL. College football is lapping NASCAR. Ole Miss, LSU, Bama, Georgia, Oregon, Penn State will all dwarf NASCAR this week as well. Yeah, there is some good games this weekend.
Football is taking over.
Gavin Adcock, appreciate $10 from you. Ladies and gentlemen, as the leader of the Kyle Larson fan club, I announced that we can come out of hiding. Our savior has kind of returned to form. Hooray, I guess.
Good week for that.
Grant's trying not to laugh over there. Snappy
Carry on.
452, appreciate the $5 from you. In 1979, Dygaard changed an engine for Darrell Waltrip in just over 11 minutes. What's the average length of a stage caution?
Oh my God. Oh my God. That is a great pull. I got to
That is
say, that was
true.
great.
That's true, Snappy. Like, dislike, appreciate the $5. My drive to the race should not be longer than the race. It won't be worth going. I think he's saying in terms of it not being
Yeah.
shorter.
You got to make it a full day experience. If you go, you can't show up 5 minutes before the anthem now.
My
You gotta-
my drive to any race, no matter the length of race, is going to be longer than the race. I mean, I live in Nebraska; it's guaranteed. I think that, and I don't even live that far away from a track. Like that's just a reality for most people. We do need to get the midway at the track better, though. But we're not getting into that tonight.
Ryan Boucher, appreciate it, $20 from you. There's a big college football game between Penn State and Oregon on Saturday, and NBC will be covering the Milan Winter Olympics. I know NASCAR races in February are on Fox, but do you think this will affect NASCAR at all?
I don't think so. Is it going to go head to head? That's the only.
And I don't know that Penn State, Oregon, I'm sure it'll get big ratings wherever it is, but it's not the heart of NASCAR nation. We talk all the time about how few Pacific Northwest fans there are and how little outreach there is. So
I would say a lot of your hardcore NASCAR fans, being a lot from the South, are more likely to be focused on the SEC games than they would necessarily those two teams. But a lot of his eyes will still be on that game. That's for sure. Ross Crashstain, appreciate the $5 from you. Zilish and Heim both have 9 wins on the season. Who ends off the season with more wins?
Zilch has more
Ooh.
attempts.
Yeah, because of that,
Does.
I say Zilish.
I
Then
like
again,
I'm gonna
can
go
he
Heim.
consistently win all these? Like Heim probably can.
I go Zilich, but I think they could tie.
I
They
think
could. I
both
could
get
see a
2.
tie. I could see
My
a tie.
prediction is both win 2, and so I think they tie. But yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see.
Bailey Reichert, appreciate the $9.99 from you. I had a large parlay to start the season of Briscoe over 1.5 wins. So that's true. Brad K under 1.5. That's true. Seabell over 3.5 wins. That's true. Blaney over 2.5 wins. That was only
True.
his second win.
He's got 3 now.
He's got 3.
Mhm.
And Byron over 3.5 wins.
Oh, he needs Byron, man.
How many does Byron have now?
2. He's got to have to win 2 of the last 6 or
Oh
whatever.
man, I picked
He
Byron
could.
to win this weekend, but man, I don't know if truthfully he can get the 4.
I hope he does for your sake.
I hope he does too, because man, you're almost spot on with that one. Oh, you
Needs
gotta
that
tell
Martinsville
you gotta tell
race.
us in the if you're still watching, Bailey, you gotta tell us how much invested, what would you win if this comes true? Or just tell us what would you win. You don't gotta tell us how much you put on it. Ryan Nidius, appreciate the $5 Canadian. Started 2020. Now I understand how people felt when Jimmy was winning 5 titles now with Penske. Yeah,
This is
Yeah, if you-
nothing like Jimmy.
it's not one
No.
driver though. That's the difference.
Yeah, that was fun.
I stand with 2311 Carson. Good to see you. Appreciate the $4.99 from you. Hey, NWP, Iceberg, sorry I won't be going to Chicagoland next year since IndyCar races at Mid-Ohio the same day, and I've never been there and can't wait.
That should be fun.
Yeah, have fun, man.
Bailey Riker, I'll just go ahead and say this super chat now. He gave $1.99. He said I put 5 on it and would win $97.
Only 97?
I'm surprised. Are you sure you don't mean 970?
9 million? No, I'm just kidding.
9,000.
97 with 5. That doesn't sound right for all those parlays, but I stand with 2311 Carson. Appreciate another $4.99 from you. Eric, have fun in Kansas. You going to Kansas?
Yes, I'll be at Kansas.
I'm not gonna do that. You guys can talk NASCAR as much as you want, as long as I don't talk about Villish, Heim, Larson, and NASCAR. I'm content. To be fair, Carson, you're the one bringing them up in your super chats.
That's not this Indy Carson. I stand with 2311 Carson over here is like just shows up to our NASCAR show to hate on all things NASCAR, but does it with like a smile on his face. It's so weird. It's like the most pleasant troll ever.
The most polite hater we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Keyshawn H, appreciate you becoming a member of Danny B Superfans tonight. I stand at 2311 Carson. Appreciate another $4.99 from you. Danny, thanks for hosting. Thanks, Auto Racing Analytics, for joining tonight. I gave up my video games a long time ago in a world far, far away. I can understand that.
Yeah, I get that.
Speedway Anywhere, appreciate being a member of Danny B Superfans for 2 months. When's the next NAS couple trip video, Danny? I don't know, because we're really not going to any more races this year. So it is what it is.
So I can take a prediction off the board of that you made for you attending races? Or is there a chance?
No, there's no chance.
Okay, then well, tune in next week to see.
Jared on hater mode over here.
And if I randomly show up to a race, I'll tell you, remove it.
I will.
You might as well just wait till the end of the year for that one, because just to make it official.
All right.
We only got 5 more races. What's the big deal waiting?
All right.
I'm gonna go Speedway Anywhere, appreciate you being a member for 2 months. I already read you. Sorry. But thanks again. Grid Flow, appreciate the $2. What will happen when USA splits from NBC in October?
Nothing this year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Next year, every race will be on True TV, or not True TV. It would be on
Bravo.
CNBC.
no, because they offshot that too.
Oh God.
It would be the only cable network they really have is Bravo.
Maybe they'll put them all on NBC by default then. That'd be
Or
huge.
Peacock. Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, that's probably more. They would probably add more NBC, but then also put others on Peacock.
As long as
Guys.
they can simulcast on Peacock.
Guys, maybe they'll sell them to Prime.
Please, and while you're at it, get rid of the TNT ones too.
Yep. Just
I'm
give
sorry,
it all.
it just makes no sense.
Just give it all to Prime.
Prime time, baby. Heim time, prime time.
Maybe it will be prime time for Heim time next year. Probably not.
Jason Carney, appreciate the $5 from you. NASCAR Heat 2 through 5 were just the same game of minor changes like paint schemes with the same trophy/achievement list. Low expectations on this one too.
Different developers. I'll give it a shot, but yeah, we'll see. Wait and see.
Give him a shot.
It's all about how different the next version is. Like, I will say I bought both College Football 25 and 26, and I feel like 26 improved on 25. Ever so slightly, they did improve, and the game was a little bit more enjoyable this go around than even so the first version that they brought it back. Daniel Meredith Jr., appreciate $1.99 from you. I'm going to read this as he said it, but I'm going to translate what he meant. Corey doesn't win championships. I think it goes 36. Now, Corey LaJoy has not won a championship, so I'm assuming he means Joey instead of Corey. Joey doesn't win a championship. I think it goes to 36 more races.
Yeah. I'd say
Oh, no, you're right.
but he does say he says
right.
36 and Trucks is 25 or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe it could be.
Yeah, because he's saying 36 is confusing me.
Maybe it's 2 separate thoughts, just sort of put together.
It's too late in the evening to be confusing me like this, chat.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna weigh too much on a truck championship because we literally saw Matt Crafton win his final championship without winning a race, and that didn't change anything. So Bailey Reichert, appreciate the 999 from you. I agree with Jarrett on rewarding more points to the winner. Joey Logano Sunday almost scored as many points as Blaney did. He scored 52, finishing fourth, while Blaney winning got only 57. I stand with 2311 Carson. Appreciate the $1.99 from you. I won't be watching baseball 2026 with robot umpires.
Oh, taking a stand against the droids.
Clankers.
Yeah, clankers. Eyebolt 07. Appreciate the $2 from you. Implement the Destruction Derby 2-point system. I don't know what that is.
Maybe they use that at Talladega and Daytona.
Speedway Anywhere. Appreciate the $5 from you. Do you three coordinate your facial hair? It makes Grant look even younger. Just having fun, Grant. To be fair, I'm Danny B. Unk now that I'm 30, so I'm just older.
We're following his lead. I feel like it is funny that all of our beard mustache combos are all kind of similar style and length at this moment, which is not usually the case.
I mean, we all have beard. My mustache kind of connects. Not really. I think I keep it a little longer to make it look like it fully connects. And then we got the soul patch here.
See, I just grown
Almost
mine
so.
out until the Vikings get eliminated, whether from playoff contention or the playoffs. So,
Wow.
That-
Okay. So
it's
stay
fun.
tuned.
Well, it's fun because you see streams of me in like December, and I have like a beard down to my like neckline. And it's,
Yeah.
I look like a Viking. It's awesome.
Justin Drake, appreciate $19.99 from you. Absolutely, the system does make good drivers look worse and mid drivers look like gods because of this system, and no one takes advantage more of this than Mickey Mouse himself in the mustard and ketchup Pennzoil mobile car. Joe Logano, that's who he's referring to.
Those yellow cars.
Ross Crashtain, appreciate you being a member of Danny B Super Fans for 2 months. No resets, but double points for the final 10 races.
I saw that comment. I don't know about double points to the final 10 races, but I actually do really like the idea of double points, 500, Coke 600, Southern 500, and
It should mean more to
Jared's
win
not with
those.
me, but I really like that
Wow.
idea. I think that's cool, but it won't happen anyway. So
Jason Carney, a very appropriate 548. Appreciate that. Reddick isn't an upgrade from Alex Bowman. Look at the stats. Blake Harris is the problem on the 48 car.
what kind of take is that? That's crazy. There's no way.
I just don't see the correlation. I disagree with the Reddick versus Bowman part. But Blake Harris it may not be the guy. That part I could maybe agree with. That's up in the air. Yeah, that's
Not
that
the
was
cut.
like,
No, not the
it was
cut.
like conflating two separate topics, I feel.
I mean, I will say you put Reddick's biggest problem a lot of times has been his pit crew, and likewise, so has Alex Bowman in a lot of races too. So it's amazing what a bad crew chief, bad strategy, bad whatever can do to a good driver. Justin Drake, appreciate the $4.99 from you. Eric ignored the chat like the Texans ignore winning games.
Accurate.
And the Titans, for that matter. NWP Pick Monkey, appreciate the $2. No monkey picks this week. Several contenders.
Exactly. Good point, Monkey.
Spencer Purcell, you've been a member of the NB Super Fans for 51 months. And he said, I can't believe it's almost October. Only got two more to go here. Hammered Squash 3, appreciate the 2.79 Canadian dollars. 36 race format is the only way the sport survives.
Maybe little sensational, but okay.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And Bailey Reichert, once again, to end us off, he gave $1.99. We read it earlier. That he put 5 on that parlay, would win $97, which I feel kind of got gypped, but it is what it is.
Still pulling for you. Byron needs 2 more wins. Be historic moment.
Yep. And that'll do it for this
Yeah.
week on Danny B Talks NWP. It's been fun. Been the second time this month that we've been on this channel. Next week, we're going to be the first one of October on Eric's channel.
That's right. Yeah.
Can't wait.
Going to have our good buddy Jeff Fabiano from the wild and wacky adventures of OCRP and everything that him, Bay Area Bugs, Sev Ryan, and all that crew get into over there. And likewise, he does a lot of things like American Truck Simulator, and he's going to be showcasing the NASCAR 25. He is a big diehard NASCAR fan, and happy to have Jeff back on with us. But until then, that's all we got. Thank you, Grant, for joining us again. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Use
You made it
code
again.
Danny on his website.
Yes, do it.
AutoRacingAnalytics.com.
I am a college kid who needs to eat. Please subscribe to the website.
And
Have
Till
Danny
next
and
time.
Eric watched K-pop Demon Hunters yet?
I'm not.
I'll watch it whenever Eric watches Uncle Buck.
Shame.
Started off right now.
Right on, come on. Clean outside. 3 wide, 3 wide.
Unbelievable.
Green playing, we're going. I like the aggressive. We probably dropped a great car. You can go to all those guys up there, they can suck in.
What we're about to do is not a good idea.
All good. What is he doing? You gotta be kidding me.
Half the pack is flying apart.
It's so nice to see us a lot.
Oh, pack of cars come piling in as well.
Come in the light. Hello. Come back, caught him.
That was incredible.